Hey, shalom, shalom.
Hey, peace.
How you doing?
Good.
All praises. All right, so we're not live,
Okay.
right? And as of right now, I'm not even recording. I'm actually finishing up my dinner because I just got in not too long ago either.
Okay.
So before I start recording, I'll let you know. I'm actually using an iPad at the moment, so I can't share my screen. I don't know if you're using a computer, but if you're using a computer, it should give you the option to share your screen.
Okay. What would it say? It said do it to present.
Yeah, present.
Okay. Okay. Good.
So if you want to go ahead and like go on Google and get that pulled up, get like a Bible website pulled up so we can actually pull up certain scriptures and discuss them or certain articles, you know, I would appreciate it if you did that.
Okay. Yeah. So whenever you want me to share the screen or whatever, I'm going to read off a verse. I will share the screen.
All right, but so even before we start though, you should go ahead and like hit present and have it ready. So at the bottom where it shows my name and yours, it's gonna pop up a third box, and then I'll add it to the stream so that way whenever we go to get it pulled up, we're already ready.
All right. Okay. So I'm at a Bible online thing now. Okay. So let me see how this is going to work. Okay. So let me try right now. Let me press present. Share screen. Okay. Share screen. Okay. What is this? Oh shit. Okay. All right. Good. So if I go out for any reason, I'm gonna come back in because I seen an error message pop out of nowhere. So
All right, that's fine.
yeah. So we let you know that if I just happen to just leave, this computer be like, I think I got a virus.
Yeah, if you leave, I ain't just gonna like close it right away. I'll leave it for
Okay, so it says what? All right, so I gotta fix something in the system. All right, I got it.
but you gotta change it.
So it should work right now. Okay, so it just had me open up some system preferences. What was this? All right, security, privacy. Okay, so what am I doing here? What allow these? Okay, I see it. I gotta allow
The app to share your screen here.
All right. let me. I got some weird messages. Okay, so you will not be able to record. What the hell is that? You can choose. All right. Let me see what the.
That's fine. Even if it doesn't let you record.
Now I'm not trying to record. I guess that they're saying if I wanted to, whatever they're saying, some weird shit. All right, let me try it now. That was a weird. I've never seen something like that before. That error message. Did it close my browser? Oh, that shit closed my browser. All right, okay, so I guess it was saying that I had to, when you make that setting adjustment, it's saying you got to quit Chrome and open it back up. So that's what just happened. It made me quit Chrome and I can open it back up. That wasn't cool. Okay, yeah, it kicked me. I was talking, I didn't know I was going. So in order to get back, in order for the settings to apply, they needed me to quit Chrome and then open it back up. All right, so that was weird. I ain't never see that before. All right, so let me try this again. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right, let's go to Bible browse. All right, let's try it again. Let's try it again. Let's see if it works this time. Present. So it should work. Okay. All right. Wait. The hell is that? Okay, I got it.
There you go. Yeah. Boom.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, because I'll be watching live and I'll be wondering how they do that. All right, cool.
StreamYard, or another good one is Google Meets.
Google, is that free?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they have certain features that you only have access to.
I got it. Yeah, they always got some slick shit.
We can record for an hour, but you would have to get the premium version in order to just have like unlimited.
All right, so it maxed you out on an hour. All right. Is my screen still sharing?
Yeah.
All right. So how do you stop it? Okay, I see it. It says stop sharing. I got it.
So you could either stop sharing, or I could take your browser off the screen.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's new right there. That's new for me at least.
So I have a question, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's your theological standpoint?
Okay, so it would be standard Christianity, right? Standard Christianity. Like whatever a Christian believes, that's what I believe. I just think I do more research than them. I think I take it more serious. And I'm open. So like, for example, you ever heard of the term progressive Christians?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So progressive Christians are people who have a doctrine and then they don't mind evolving it when information comes that they agree with. So that's kind of like what I do.
Right.
Right. So I have a set mind, but it's not set in stone.
Right. But my only response to that answer would be, there is no standard Christianity because Christianity has various denominations and branches, and they have contradictory belief systems.
Yeah, so well, you got that from what I've been knowing in the comment section. People told me the Hebrew Israelites got different. Some people believe polygamy, some don't. Some
Uh-huh.
do. Some do certain Sabbath moons. Some don't. From when I be talking to guys in the comment section,
Hmm.
so that's. But they have a core teaching. That's what I was getting to. They have a core teaching for what I've been hearing. Like they all believe they're Hebrew Israelites, right? Prophets of the Lord. The message is for the Israelites only, like things like that. Like that's a core teaching, and then they'll differ.
But so while that is true to a certain extent, even those points that you named, not all Israelite groups agree upon.
Really,
Yeah.
which one you think? Which one that they disagree with?
Who did what as far as what?
Like the core teaching, like they're the Black Israelites, they're the chosen.
Well, so amongst different Israelite groups, right? You have the majority, or the major, right? All of the camps that are derived from One West, all of those camps teach that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the descendants of the 12 tribes of
Right,
Israel.
and that's what I'm
But
familiar with. Yeah,
now you have other groups, though, that are not sprouted out of the original One West school,
yeah.
right? Who Vocab Malone would refer to as One West Israelites, right? You have other groups outside of that who believe that only Negroes are Israelites, or you have groups that believe only Latinos are
Get
Israelites. So
out of
you
here!
have
Wait, wait, wait,
certain,
wait, 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 wait. You said there's Israelite groups that say only Latinos.
yeah, there's groups that say only Latinos, and there's other groups that say only Negroes.
Wow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now that's a big
And I
difference.
and I would disagree with both of those.
Have you ever had a discussion with them to see why they believe that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have had dialogues, debates, discussions.
Is that recorded? Because I would love to watch something like that.
Yeah, so what you have to do, well, not what you have to do, what I would recommend you do rather, is go to Sicarii main page and go to maybe scroll down to like 2 or 3 years ago, and you'll find a bunch of those dialogues.
Yeah, I'm
You'll
gonna do
find
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see why they feel the way they feel.
So in any case, what I have come to find is that it's actually a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, because the two kingdoms did split during the time of King Solomon and were never reunified, right? And there's scriptures like Isaiah chapter 11 that talk about Judah no more vexing Ephraim, and Ephraim no more envying Judah.
Okay.
Right, so that shows you that there was division when you read the stories, like in First Kings chapter 16. You read Second Kings chapter 14. You read these stories about how Israel and Judah were divided. Oh, you read all throughout the book of Judges about how the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom were beefing with each other. Like, that's nothing new. If anything, to me, that proves that exactly who we say are the Israelites are them. Because you have one group on one side that says, no, it's just us. And then you have another group on the other side that says, no, it's just us. And then to hell with the other side.
Right.
And that's exactly how the Israelites behaved in the Bible, the northern and southern kingdoms. Ezekiel 11 and 15 also makes mention of that.
That's
And then ultimately, though, there's the prophecy in Ezekiel 37. So as a matter of fact, pull that up, right? Go to Ezekiel chapter 37.
okay. Where at?
All right. So are you familiar with this prophecy?
No.
Okay. So Ezekiel 37 is a prophecy about the valley of dry bones, right? If you listen to a speech that Malcolm X did in the 1960s, even Malcolm X told his followers that this prophecy prophecy in the Bible was about the Negroes in America, right? The Valley of Dry Bones. All right,
Yeah, I'm
so you
familiar
can
with
go
that. The
ahead.
Ezekiel bones. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
All
was
right.
rattling. They
So,
wouldn't stand up, and they finally did. They got knee bone connected to the. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So now go down though to say like verse 14. And it also tells you in verse 11 that these bones are the whole house of Israel, or all 12 tribes. Right?
Yeah, I could believe that.
All right. So now start at verse 15 and then read on down. You want to read it? You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
All right. 15, it says, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Right? So far we have two sticks. One of them is Judah, and one of them is Joseph or Ephraim.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, so Judah is the southern kingdom of Judah. Joseph or Ephraim is the northern kingdom of Israel.
Right.
Capital was Samaria, which
Wait.
is
So
in the
Judah is the southern. You said.
yes.
Okay.
Judah is the south. Right. So the kingdom of Judah was comprised of the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And we can prove that because the first time we see the term Jew even being referenced in the Bible, right, is in reference to Mordecai, which was Esther's uncle. And he's called a Jew, but it tells you that he's of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right. Okay, I got it.
He's not of the tribe of Judah, but he's still referred to as a Jew.
So is Jew like something like how we just say Christian for everybody? Is that like Jew for the 12
No.
tribes?
So, okay, so now what you have to understand is etymology versus context. Uriah, I'm trying to teach Shalom, Pop. So you have to understand context versus etymology, right? Etymology is dealing with the origins of a word, right? In the dictionary and through linguistics, right? Whereas context is how a word is used in everyday speech, right? And I'll give you an example, right? I can say something to the effect of, right, I was walking my dogs, right?
Right.
So dogs, right, is a noun, right? And it means a canine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if I say I was chilling with my dogs, does that mean that I'm hanging out with a bunch of animals?
No.
No, it does not, right? Because how the word is used contextually, right, in everyday speech is different from what the dictionary says the word actually means.
Got it.
Right? So
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So when we look, right, first of all, when we look at the word for stick in the Hebrew, hold on, let me get my phone. When we look at the word stick in the Hebrew, right, if I'm not mistaken, is dealing with a wooden board.
A wooden board?
Contextual.
It's a wooden board?
A wooden board.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me see. Stick, Ezekiel 37. The word is, let's see.
Strong's H 6086. Eights.
All right, yeah. Tree, wood, timber, stock, plank, stalk, stick, gallop. Right? A piece of wood. Right? So there's one piece of wood that says for Judah, right? And then there's another one that says for Ephraim, right? And then these two pieces of wood are joined together, right? That's verse 17. It says, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. Right? So now we have these two sticks, these two pieces of wood. Now they're fused together and they became one. Right? Now, can you scroll down a little bit?
Yeah. So the two sticks shall become one.
Up a little bit more. I need to start at like 18. Yeah, they shall become one in thine hand, verse 18. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Right? People are gonna see this piece of wood that has the writing of the 12 tribes on it, and they're gonna ask, what does it mean? Right?
Yeah.
Say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. Right? So this whole thing is an analogy for how the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered, right? After being separated into two different kingdoms, but they were going to be reunified and brought back together as one family. But before that reunification happened, they would think of themselves as two different people, right? So we're gonna go down a little bit more because it's gonna explain that. And the sticks whereon thou writest.
Where? Okay, I got it.
Right there, yeah. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them all, and they shall no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. So before this happened, you would have Judah and Ephraim, and they would think of themselves as two different nations or two different groups of people until the Lord brings them back together and brings them into the land. And that did not happen in antiquity.
Got it. Yeah, so it's like a prophecy that's not fulfilled.
Right. That's a prophecy that is currently being fulfilled by us going out onto the street with the 12 tribes sign, which in some cases is literally a piece of wood that has the name of the 12 tribes, and people come and they see it, and we tell them the Lord is gathering the 12 tribes, and he's going to bring them back into their own land. And we are those people.
Okay, so how long ago did you get into this type of knowledge?
How long did I get into this type of
Yeah.
knowledge? About 3 years ago.
3 years?
Yeah.
Were you ever a Christian first?
Yes.
You got to come back.
What does it mean to be a Christian etymologically, according to like the textbook definition of the word?
Oh, I want to know. You know, we go with just a belief.
Okay, so go to the book of Acts, chapter 11, and verse 26.
Okay. Acts. So what chapter?
It would be Acts chapter 11 and verse 26.
No, I'm supposed to be work with this.
All right.
Who's that?
It says, and when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
Okay, so who are these people that were called Christians?
The disciples.
Okay, so who were the disciples?
They were the
Can you name them?
followers of, you know, you got what's their names? Judas Iscariot, Peter, Matthew, those guys.
Right, the list of the 12 apostles, right, is given in Matthew chapter 10. And then you have people who came on afterwards, right, such as like Stephen,
right,
Paul or Saul.
Yeah.
Right. But anyways, right, what was the ethnicity or the nationality.
Oh no, they was
of
definitely
the-
from it was definitely from Israel because that's why they're rolling with Jesus.
right, they were from Israel.
Yeah.
Right. So originally, the original Christians are Jews.
Yeah. Yeah, the
They were
Jews are the father
specifically.
of the Christians. Yeah.
So, right, your question about, like, the question about what does it mean to be a Jew, right? Etymologically, it means to be a descendant of Judah, right? Or to pertain to the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which make up the southern kingdom of Israel. But today, how that term is used contextually is used of a religion that was created by European Caucasians, which is totally different from how it was originally used. And it's the same thing with the term Christian, right? Christianos in the Greek, right? The followers of the Christos, or
Yeah.
Mashiachim in the
So
Greek.
could that have a dual meaning? Could it also mean that because at that time they thought Christ was crazy. So could that be anybody following this crazy guy, they also a Christian, no matter who it is.
That's how it was originally
Okay,
used. It
okay,
was used
okay.
as a derogatory term by the
Right.
Romans
Definitely.
or by the Greeks in Antioch, which Antioch is a province of the Greco-Roman Empire that was in modern day like Turkey.
Yep. Yep. So
Right. So now here's my question,
Mhm.
right? Did Jesus keep God's commandments?
Better, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, no choice.
And aren't we supposed to follow Jesus's example?
That's right.
So then why should I join a Christian church that tells me that I don't have to keep God's commandments?
Yeah. I hate to go off topic, but let me ask you about that. There, this is a perfect time to ask you that question since we're there. So there's a lot of laws, right? There's a lot of
Right.
there's like 600 something laws, right? So let me ask you.
So excuse me, my bad. I'm gonna start recording now.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
Continue
so just
your.
off topic, and just off topic. I always been want to ask somebody this. So there's a lot of laws. There's about 600 laws.
Okay, I would agree to that.
Where are so you say commandments? Do you think do you teach that we supposed to keep all those?
Yes, we are supposed to keep all of them that we are able to keep in captivity. Right. So, for example, we live on the other side of the world, and the temple has been destroyed. So I can't go to the temple and offer a sacrifice, right? That's physically impossible for me to do, right?
Yeah.
But there are commandments that I'm able to keep. For example, putting fringes on the borders of my clothes, right? So I'm able to do that. So I do that. But there are other ones that are physically impossible. And then you mentioned the number 600, and Christians mention the number 613 all the time. But one person is not obligated to keep all 613 laws, and I will explain to you why. Right? There are certain laws that as a man do not pertain to me. For example, right? When a woman gives birth, right? She's considered unclean. She has to be separated, right?
Yeah.
For a set period of time, so on and so forth, right? She has to be separated. I don't have to do that. That's not required of me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So not every law, there are certain laws that are applicable to women. There are certain laws that are applicable to men. There are certain laws that are applicable only to the priest. There are certain laws that are applicable in certain instances, right? I'll give you another example, right? There's a law that says that you have to put a roof on your house to prevent people from falling off and dying, which makes logical sense, right?
Yeah.
If I don't have a house, then that law doesn't pertain to me.
Do y'all have a video what laws we should keep and which ones we shouldn't or can't?
So I believe that I can find a video
Yeah,
like
that would
that.
be a good video.
Well, really, it's really simple. It's all of the laws that are applicable to you, that you are physically able to keep, you should be keeping them, right? And I have the scripture on that. If you can pull up Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. All right, so Deuteronomy 6 and 4, it says, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Verse 5, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy
That's
might.
right.
Right? So loving the Lord with all your might is to the best of your ability. Right? So I'll give you another example, right? There, I believe it's, right here. Verse 8, it says, or no, scroll down to verse 9. Right? It says, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. That's a commandment, right? To have a scroll on the post of your house, the entrance to your house, that has the commandments written on it, or that has the Shema prayer. So I have that because I'm able to do that. That only costs $10. I can order that from Amazon and put it up myself. So, like, that's not burdensome, right? If you can get 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3.
Shit. Hold on. Oh shit. Am I still presenting?
No.
Yeah, I may have taken. Okay, let me go back. Shit. All right. How do you present again? Hold on.
Yeah, it should either say present or share screen.
Yeah, I got it. I just gotta. I got it. Okay. Here we go. Bible browse. All right. So it's funny you go to 1 John because that's where I'm going for that Trinity.
Yeah, so that's beautiful. Through the Spirit.
So we can stay after you're done. We can stay right there. You're gonna try to run up out of there, but let's stay right there.
Nah. So start at 1 John, right? Start at chapter 2.
Oh, my bad. I passed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're good. All right. So chapter 2, right? Verse 4. It says, or verse 3. It says, and hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. Verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Hold up. Let me copy that right there. I got that. Yeah, let me copy that. That's chapter 2.
Yeah, that's 1 John 2, 3, and 4.
All right. Let me know that you can continue. I just want to document that. That's kind of powerful right there. Go ahead.
All right, now chapter 3.
All right, let me just first document that real quick. 1 John 2. Yeah, that's interesting right there. All right. Chapter 3. Something load up. God damn, how many verses are here? All right, we here.
All right, 3 and verse 4. It says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. Right? So committing sin, what sin is breaking the law. Right? Now, verse 5. And ye know that he was manifested, talking about Jesus, to take away our sins, and in him is no sin. So according to John, Jesus came so that we could not sin, and sin is defined as breaking God's commandments. So Jesus came so we could stop breaking God's commandments.
Yeah, read verse 6. That's powerful.
Right? Whosoever abideth in him sinneth not. Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him.
Yeah,
And verse
okay.
8, He that committeth sin is of the devil.
Wait.
You,
Oh,
you are of the devil.
all right.
Right? Verse 10. In this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother, which loving your brother is a commandment in the Mosaic law.
Yeah, but we all sin though. So are we children of the devil?
So, right, when it talks about sinning right here, I like when you read more modern translations because it says things to the effect of he that makes a lifestyle of sin.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. Okay.
So it's one thing to slip up. The Old Testament, the book of Job, it says a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up again. But he doesn't make an excuse.
So why don't
say,
you read a more modern Bible? Well, why would you stick to an old English Bible?
I have all different types of Bibles.
Okay.
I literally read all different types of translations of Bibles.
All right, but go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, can you go down to chapter 5 though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Are you sure you want to go there?
Yes, that's exactly where I want to go.
Oh my God, bro. You playing hangman with yourself at this point.
Absolutely not. I know what I'm doing.
This is suicide right here. This is murder by suicide. All right, we're here.
All right. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 1.
Yeah.
It says, whosoever believeth that Jesus is the Christ is born of God. And everyone that loveth him that begat, loveth him also that is begotten of him. So if you love the Father, you love the Son.
Let me
right?
copy that. Go ahead. I'm just going to copy that, put it in my notes.
All right, reading on. It says, by this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So loving God means keeping the commandments. And if you sin, which is breaking the commandments, you are a child of the devil.
You're the devil, right?
Right? And this is in the New Testament, by the way, after the death of Christ.
Yeah, this is clear.
Now we can go down to verse 7.
Don't do that.
Which is what you wanted.
Don't do that.
That's fine.
All right. Okay.
Because the original talking point of how we came to have this debate, right, was, well, this ain't even a debate. This is a dialogue, right? Because we're just having a conversation. Yeah. Was because of the Trinity comment that you left on one of my soldiers' pages, right? Yeah. Okay. So scroll up to verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It says, this is he that came by water and blood, even the Christ, not by water only, but by water and blood. And it is the Spirit that beareth witness, because the Spirit is truth.
Right.
Right? And then it goes on and it says, for there are 3 that bear record in heaven, the Father, the Word, and the Holy Ghost, and these 3 are one. Right?
There you go.
So that seems to lean to your point of the Trinity.
We read it. Like we read your sin stuff. We read this.
Now, right, you asked me about the King James Bible being an old English translation, right?
Yeah.
All right, so can you do me a favor and open another tab and pull up 1 John in, let's say, the New Living Translation.
All right, so I'm going to go to Bible. Well, you know what? Let me just do New Living online translation, Bible online, because they be trying to sell you the book if I just
right.
Yeah, I ain't trying to buy that. Okay. So I think, let me click this link. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, okay, we're here.
Okay, so go to 1 John in the New Living Translation.
The same verse, right?
Yeah.
All right, okay. I mean, it's gonna say the same shit.
We'll see.
Like, what do you think it's gonna say? You think it's gonna say somebody else? Other 1 John. God damn, what's all this stuff?
Ads.
Yeah. Clickbait.
All right, yeah.
You send me here for clickbait.
Right. Now go to verse 7.
I just want to make it big so we all can read it. So you ain't got to pull no shit.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. So is this 5? This is where we at?
Yeah, this is the same chapter.
All right.
First
First John 5.
5.
All right. What's your point?
Now read verse 7. Verse 7, it says, so we have these 3 witnesses.
Right.
Verse 8, the spirit, the water, and the blood, and all 3 agree. So why does the NLT not say that the 3 witnesses are the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit? But the NLT says the 3 witnesses are the spirit, the water, and the blood.
This is clearly a violation of Revelation 22, where it says don't add or subtract.
Yeah, it is a violation of that, but it's not what you're trying to spin it to be, right? The Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, written in the KJV, is a very late addition that does not appear in any of the original manuscripts. That's adding to the Bible.
Wait. So wouldn't you agree that adding to the Bible is wrong?
Adding to the Bible is wrong,
So,
and that's exactly.
Why the hell are we reading from the King James? I want to read from the Bible that's not adding.
Okay, so the reason why we read from the King James is because the King James is a great word for word translation of the manuscripts, but it's not infallible. There's no infallible version of the Bible. If you want to understand what the Bible is actually talking about, you need to learn how to read Greek and Hebrew.
Wait, so what's your name?
My name is Thair.
Okay, and what camp are you representing?
I'm in Sicarii.
Okay.
In the sect of Philadelphia.
All right. So yeah, so my thing is, don't you think, right, if you endorse the King James, don't you think people are gonna read the verse that I read that was not supposed to be there?
And that's fine.
But
that's perfectly fine.
But okay, God's not the author of confusion. That just bring about confusion.
Right, but God is not the author of confusion. That's a man that came and added that into the text. You can't blame that on God.
No. Not on God. I'm saying us. We are the problem. We're reading a Bible that God probably don't favor. Like, why would he want us to read a verse?
Here's the thing, all right. There's scriptures like in Timothy, I believe it's in Timothy that says, study to show yourself approved, a workman who need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
All right, well,
so study and do your due diligence in order to come to the correct conclusions, no matter what translation you're reading.
All right, well, I got different. Okay, if you want to get rid of that, it's not.
No, so all right, so you can close out of that, the NLT, right?
Yeah.
So 1 John chapter 5 and verse 7, right? I want you to go on Google and type in Johannine, comma.
Wait, spell it.
JOHANNINNE.
NE?
Yeah. Comma.
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says that the Johannine, comma, Latin, comma, Johannem is a phrase, comma, in verses 5 and 7 of the first epistle of John. The text in the King James Bible reads with italics and square brackets added for reference.
Right. The Father.
So you're telling me that whole thing that I thought was saying a one, that's all in brackets and italics?
Yes, I'm telling you that that's a later addition to the text that was added into the text because
I'm never going to read the King James again.
No, so that doesn't mean that you should never read the King James again. That does not mean that. Those two things do not equate.
You will be defiled, right? Reading something added to.
Because any text that is translated is subject, right, to additions, removals, footnotes, so on and so forth by the translators. That's a part of the actual process of translating it from one language to another. Because if you speak multiple languages, which I do, right, you will understand that not everything translates literally. So there are certain instances where those brackets, italics are needed because the language that is written doesn't translate exactly.
Or I get it. Right. Because it's an old language and we speak in a more modern sense. Okay.
So click on that article. So we
right here. This right here?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I knew you had something. That's why you're so confident. I knew you had something with you.
All right. So the Johannine comma, or in Latin, the comma Johannium, is a phrase in verses 5, 7 through 8 of the first epistle of John. The text in the King James Bible reads with italics and square brackets added for reference, for there are three that bear record, right? And then in the brackets, in heaven, the Father, the Word, and the
Oh,
Holy
wow.
Ghost.
So who
Three
put
are
that there?
one.
Wait. So who put that there? King James
So
put that there?
So we're going to keep on reading.
Yeah.
The inclusion of the Johannine comma in the King James Bible is that it follows the traditional historic printing of earlier English Christian Bibles, which were based upon the many Greek New Testaments, critical texts created by many different editors over a 100-year period. Although the comma was missing in Erasmus's first two editions, he included it in his three latest editions.
Okay.
All right, so scroll down. Right, critics of the passage claim that it first originated as a gloss in a Latin manuscript around the end of the 4th century and was subsequently incorporated into the text of the Old Latin Bible during the 5th century, though not the earliest Vulgate manuscripts. So you see that?
Yeah.
Right? It's included in certain editions, but not other ones. Why? Because the early manuscripts that are being translated from do not contain it.
Yeah.
The comma is absent from the Ethiopic, Aramaic, Syriac, Slavic, Armenian, Georgian, and Arabic translations of the Greek New Testament.
Yeah. I can't argue that. Like I said, I'm a progressive Christian. If you show and prove something, I'll let it go.
All praise to the Most High.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna do my own. You know what I mean? I got to meditate on this a little bit.
Right, but it's just to show you, right? We have a theological standpoint that we will always be able to defend, whether you accept it or not, because not everybody's gonna accept it. Right? The facts are just the facts. Like the facts are objective. What you want to do with that is subjective.
Yeah.
Right? But now I went to Catholic school, right?
Yeah.
For many years. So I have a background in the Bible, but I was never taught that in Catholic school. I went to Christian churches all in my teens. I never was taught that in the Christian church. So why would I get involved in a religion that teaches me these ideas, and then they'll go and they'll pull a scripture like 1 John 5 and 7, and at the slightest bit of scrutiny, we come to find out that doesn't even belong in the text.
All right. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Okay. So
We can continue on about the Trinity if you have another point about that.
I mean, like, this is my best argument, you know?
All right, so I want to show you something else about the Trinity, right? Go to John chapter 17.
All right. Wait, I do have one more. After this one, I got one more, and that's it. If you debunk that, then I really got to do some research. So you said John. I do got one more for you, because I was like, you know, he's too confident. Okay, but let's see if you're confident in other stuff. $17.
Yeah, John chapter 17. Let's see. Okay, John chapter 17 and verse 3, right? Or as a matter of fact, verse 1 to establish the context, right? Now,
let me read this so you don't try to trick me. These words spake Jesus, and lifted up his eyes to heaven, and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee, as thou hast given me power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. And this is life eternal, and that they might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent.
Right. So Jesus identifies that his Father, right, the Tetragrammaton, right? Yahweh in the Paleo Hebrew, right, or what the secular world would know as like Jehovah, right? Yahweh is the one true God, and Jesus Christ, who he sent. So Jesus himself identified Yahweh as the one true God, right?
And
But you
this
can
is
keep
the life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent.
all right. So if you can keep on reading, we need a an analysis of like this whole next few verses down to like 14.
Yeah, my bad. I had to answer the door. So you said keep
I-
reading?
Yeah, you can keep reading.
Okay. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou hast given me to do. And now, O Father, thou be with thy own self with the glory which I had thee before the world was. I can't hear you.
My bad. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. So wait, let me write that one down. Let me just document that. That's John chapter 17. John 17. Yeah, I'm gonna look at this later. Okay. So I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me. Out of the world, thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. For I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me.
Right. So Jesus comes out from the Father.
Right.
Right. He's not
Virgin
the
birth.
Father. Right, the Trinity standpoint is that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right, are co-equal, co-omniscient, and co-omnipotent. Meaning they're all knowing, they're all powerful, right? But Jesus said basically that this power is not of his self. And the glory is not of his self. It's that he was given it. It was bestowed upon him by the Father. Showing
Okay.
you what that Christ is a creation and the chief creation of the Father. So that's our theological standpoint. It's called Arianism as opposed to Trinitarianism.
1 second. Okay. So what you just did was you debunked one thing, but you supported the other thing. You said that he was sent or he was of God. You just said that.
Yeah, he was sent by God.
Right. Through
Yes,
Mary.
absolutely. We believe that the Messiah, Hamashiach, Yahushua Hamashiach, right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, yes, is sent from God because he is the chief creation of God. And we can even go further into like Colossians or yeah, I believe it's in Colossians or Ephesians.
But you're skipping one thing.
Oh, and Hebrews chapter 1. Now, what's the point you want to make?
He was sent from God, right? Through Mary. So we agree. What's the argument?
So you're saying that he doesn't have no. So first, let's stick to the Trinity point, and then we'll get to
Okay, because
the virgin birth
you
point.
pretty much debunked one and supported the other. Okay, let's finish.
No, that's not
Yeah,
true,
so
right?
I do got one more chapter for you.
Uh-huh.
Genesis.
All right, we'll go to Genesis, but let's finish right here in John
Okay,
17.
my bad. Let me go back. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Verse 9. It says, I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. Right? Christ's followers belong to the Father, and the Father sent Christ to them. It says, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them.
Right.
And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee.
Right.
Holy Father, keep thou thine own name, those who thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. Right? So now the believers in the Messiah are also described as being one with the Father, the same way that Jesus is. So are they now a part of the Trinity too?
Hell no.
Hell no. Right, exactly. But that same phraseology is used, because that's what a low-level Christian will try to say. Oh, well, it says Jesus and the Father are one. It does say that they're one, but it also says that the believers in Christ are one with them as well. So are they also a part of that? No. That's a flawed line of logic. And all we have to do is keep on reading, as opposed to um, abusing the context, because that's what Christians do. They abuse the context of the scriptures.
Can we go to Genesis now?
Yeah, we can go to Genesis.
Okay, because I'm gonna hold you to that. You said it. We go to Genesis. I'm gonna hold you to that. God sent him to us. God sent him to us. Only God. And he came to us through a woman. Okay, so let me go to Genesis. All right. Now I want to see you break this one down. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Okay. Yeah, let me get to it. It's probably my last one. And God said, let us make man in our three people image, after our three people likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Okay, that's easy. Right? Go to Genesis 1 and 1. Right? This is how we get the answer of the understanding of why it says our plural.
Okay.
Right? Genesis 1 and 1, it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know even the slightest amount of Hebrew?
Nah, like shalom, shit like that.
Okay, right. So, right, in Genesis 1 and 1, what's the word for God in Hebrew? Right? It's Elohim or Alahayim, right? When you add im at the end of a Hebrew word, it acts like if you added s at the end of an English word, making it plural, right? So the God that did the creation in the beginning, right, is plural, which is why when it says in verse 26, let us make man in our image, right? It says our, not God said, let me make man in my image, right? It's plural. Now, you said that that's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right?
That's what it says, yeah.
Okay, so go to Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 1.
Okay.
Hebrews 1 and 1, it says, God, right, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Right? God made the worlds through Christ, right? So Christ is the chief creation of the Father, and then Christ created the heavenly spirits, like the angels, and Christ and the angels did the creation. But it's attributed to the Father at the end of the day, regardless. The same way that if I was to construct a building, right, I would have to hire an architect. And at the end of the day, even if the architect only made the blueprints, the building would be attributed to that architect.
So last question, and not to be petty, why would the name be plural and not singular to make it easy for people?
What do you mean? So you're saying in Genesis, why is it plural?
Yeah.
Because in the Hebrew, right, really, right, I would say that Genesis 1:1 is actual in the KJV is not actually like an ideal translation, right?
See,
The word
do that KJV, man. Kick that shit over the fence.
No, but it's not even that, because there are other translations of the Bible that contain various types of mistakes. And really what it is, at the end of the day, what it boils down to is the preconceived notions and the already established belief that the translators had when they translated the text in the first place. So they're imposing their own beliefs into the text now through the translation. But you have to be able, right? You have to study in order to know what is what. And that's you doing your due diligence. But most other translations of the Bible that we have access to today are thought for thought translations of ancient manuscripts or of the KJV, whereas the KJV is a word for word translation of manuscripts, i.e., the Masoretic text.
Okay.
So the KJV in and of itself, right, is not bad. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, right? It may be a little difficult to understand for the average, run-of-the-mill person studying, but you can learn. If you learn another language, you can learn how to speak a different form of English. If you go somewhere where they speak a different type of English, you're naturally just going to adapt to be able to speak how these other people speak. Like if you were to go down south, you would start saying different words.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody from up north. Or if we were to go to the West Coast, right, we would be speaking different out there,
All right.
Like you have to take all of those things into consideration. But in any case, right, I would say a better translation of Genesis 1:1 would be, in the beginning, the powers created the heavens and the earth.
And who are the powers?
Christ and the angels that he created.
And how would you prove that?
All right, hold on, give me 1 second. Right. All right, so go back to John chapter 17.
Okay. I hope I researched something. John 17 ain't in the Bible either. You'll be in trouble.
I'm not in trouble.
No, I said if I read something where John 17 ain't in the Bible.
I mean, I wouldn't be in trouble regardless, because that's no trouble to me. This is what I do.
All right, so we're back here.
All right, so we're back here, right? I wanted to see the verse where he said he had the glory with the Father before.
Was it verse? Okay, I got you. I remember that verse. There you go. Verse 5.
Uh-huh. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was.
Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
Right? Christ had the glory that the Father glorified him with. That's key. That's important. Right. Before the world was. We saw in Hebrews 1:1, it said that God used Christ to make the worlds plural.
Yeah, that's
right?
Interesting.
Now, what's a part of that glory? Right? Hold on 1 second. I believe it's in Matthew 24.
Let me go. Yeah, you real good with the Trinity. I knew you were. The way you were so overconfident. Shit, my bad.
Right. It's Matthew 25 and 31.
You said 21?
Uh-huh.
And okay, let me
What? No, it's 25 and 31.
All right. Let me read this for you try some slick shit. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Right? When the Son of Man comes in his glory, all the angels are coming with him, and he's gonna sit on his throne of
Bro, who
glory
taught you
and
this shit? You didn't
take
come up with this
place
yourself. Who taught you this?
in the presence of the angels.
You learned this in a Catholic school, bro.
I did not learn this in the Catholic
We
school.
learned
You're
this
crazy.
from.
No Catholics teach this. I learned this from my elders.
Nah,
at my
but they be
school.
having secrets though. You know that they be having secrets in the Vulgate.
I don't know exactly what you mean by that.
Like they be hiding images and shit like that, right?
But what do you mean hiding images? Like you talking about in the church?
Yeah, in Rome.
Oh, the church is wicked. Yeah, the
Right.
Vatican.
I'm saying like
they,
they teach a public doctrine, but they also have a private one that they don't share with the public.
right, but their private doctrine is Luciferian. This ain't Luciferian. What I'm telling you, right? So in the Vatican, you had a Christmas mass a couple weeks ago, and you had a big old Christmas tree, and on the side of it, you have an Egyptian obelisk, and on top of the Egyptian obelisk, it has a star of Ishtar, and then the Christian cross, because all of this goes back to pagan worship of the gods of Egypt and Babylon, like Ishtar and Tammuz and Isis and Osiris, hence the obelisk, the golden phallus. So yeah, they do have imagery, and that's wicked, but that's totally different from what I'm talking to you about right now. And I for damn sure didn't learn this in the church.
All right. Okay, cool. All right. So I got a lot to, I got to fact check you, of course, because
Yeah, absolutely.
you said a lot. Got to fact.
Oh, you want to talk about the virgin birth?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So I want to say,
I got a scripture.
I want to say, like the Trinity. To be honest, it really didn't. I never really could explain it like correctly. It did. Like I'm talking about. To me, it made sense, but to people who I explained it to, they always either act like they didn't understand what I was saying, or they just didn't. Right. So that was never really a strong point for me. But the virgin birth, I'm as good as that. What you are with the Trinity.
All right, so let's go to Isaiah chapter 7.
Oh yeah,
no,
yes sir.
no. So before we even go to Isaiah chapter 7, right? I got something for you in Matthew.
Don't run from Isaiah. Let's establish the prophecy.
Ain't nobody running from Isaiah, because we're gonna go from Isaiah to Matthew chapter 1. But I have something else outside of that I believe is in Matthew.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it Matthew 1?
Nah.
Oh, good.
I believe it's Matthew 12.
All right, let's do that. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Matthew. Yeah, we're gonna go to Matthew 1. No, first we're gonna go to John 1.
That's a Trinity, John 1.
We're gonna go to John 1.
Okay. Where?
Right, 1 and 45.
Okay, we're here.
All right, it says, John 1 and 45. Philip findeth Nathanael and said unto him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
Right.
Right. John chapter 6 and verse 42, it says, and they said, is not this
Wait.
Jesus?
No. Let me get it, because you might be
ahead.
reading the wrong version.
Get it, yeah.
John
6 and 42.
Okay.
Right? John 6 and 42. And they said, is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he saith, I came down from heaven?
Okay.
right? So we have multiple examples of the Jews identifying Jesus as the son of Joseph. That's point number one. Right now, let's go to Isaiah chapter 7.
All right. Then now we're cooking. All right. Now we talking about something I'm strong at.
All right, can you read? 7.
Wait, give me 1 second. Let me answer the door.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, somebody sent food to the wrong house. And I'm like, I just put it on the counter. I ain't touch it. All right. Okay. You said 14?
Yeah. So first, right, go to 7.
Okay. We're here. I'm here at 7.
All right. It says, "Thus saith the Lord God: It shall not stand, neither shall it come to pass." Verse 8. "For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin, and within 65 years Ephraim shall be broken, that it be not a people. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is Remaliah's son. If ye will not believe, surely ye shall not be established." Right? So, for context, right, what is the chapter of Isaiah 7 talking about?
This should not stand, neither shall it come to pass. I'm not. I don't know about that one passage.
Right. Okay. Right. So, this is what I'm talking about. We have to establish a context in order to understand what's going on in the text. If we just go into 7 and 14 and read that and then close the Bible, we can say, yeah, Jesus doesn't have that. But we can't do that, right, if we're staying true to the context of the scriptures themselves, right? So what it's talking about, if you go up to verse 1, right, is dealing with the northern kingdom, which is Ephraim, right, being confederate with Syria, which are heathens, against Judah, right? So the northern kingdom of Israel teamed up with Syria, heathens, to fight against their own people, Judah. And what the Most High God said is that was gonna be brought to naught.
I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Right. All right. So now you can go down.
To where?
Right. Verse 10. Right. Moreover, the Lord spake again unto Ahaz, saying, Ask thee a sign of the Lord thy God. Ask it either in the depth or in the height above. But Ahaz said, I will not ask, neither will I tempt the Lord. And he said, Hear ye now, O house of David. Is it a small thing for you to weary men, but will ye weary my God also? Right? Read on. Therefore, the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Right? So, what's the Hebrew word for virgin?
Hebrew word? What is it?
Right? It's Ha'alma.
Who?
The virgin. Ha'alma.
And how you know that?
Because I know Hebrew, because I study the Bible. Right? Ha'alma. Hold up. If you don't believe that, I'll go to Blue Letter Bible, and I will let the Greek and Hebrew linguist tell you that.
I'm here.
Strong's H 5959. Alma. Alma.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me fact check this.
I'm glad that you actually pulled it up too, because now we can actually go through this, right? The Virgin, H 5959. right? Get the pronunciation.
Strong's H 5959. Alma. Alma.
Yeah, I normally use the Strong's for the New Testament. I never use it for the Old. Okay.
Okay, so right, so it says alma. That's the root word, virgin, right? But the way that it's inflected in Isaiah 7:14, the virgin is halma.
Is what?
Ha alma.
Okay, what's the difference?
Ha at the beginning is like saying the.
Right. Okay.
That's it, right? So scroll down. Right? Scroll down to the outline of biblical usage.
I'm here.
Okay, so go ahead, read that.
Virgin, young woman, marriageable, let me see, marriageable age, maid, or newly married.
Right. Notice it said of marriageable age, and
Yeah.
then it said or newly married. Right. What is a marriage according to the Bible? What
Marriage, most of it is sex.
Yes. And even a United States court will let you know that, because you can have your marriage annulled if it's not consummated through the act of sex, because sex is the marriage.
Yeah, I think the Bible also states that. Okay.
Right. So now, from the additional information, right? Watch, it's gonna contradict. It's gonna contradict that, right? So go ahead, read that.
Wait, say that again.
I said, so now if you look directly under what it says right there, it's
Okay.
going to cite a source that's going to contradict what it states above about it being newly married.
What source? 24, 30, 40, 24, 43?
No, this whole thing. Just read the whole thing where it says
Okay,
additional
there is no
information.
instance where it can be proved that Alma designates a young woman who is not a virgin. The fact
Right.
of virginity is obvious in Genesis 24:43, where Alma is used of one of who is being sought as a bride for Isaac. Right, I'm familiar with that story.
So that's perfectly fine, right?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to go to Leviticus.
One second. Welcome. Let me see. Leviticus.
Leviticus 21:1.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Let me get there.
Oh no, you should go there in the Blue Letter Bible.
Oh,
My
okay,
bad.
got you. Okay.
Okay, read 21:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people. So
Right.
this is regulations or laws concerning the priests, right?
Right.
All right. So let's see where they virgin.
It
Right.
says, there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people. Right. What about that?
All right. No. So that's just giving you the context.
Right.
That it's the Lord telling Moses, this is for the priests, right?
Okay.
Now, right, verse 3. Or no, not verse 3 about the sister. I want verse 7.
Okay. Yeah, we're here.
Right? They shall not take a wife that is a whore or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his God. Right? So the priests, they're not supposed to marry divorced women, they're not marry whores, and they're not supposed to, divorced women, prostitutes, right, or profane.
Let me copy this verse. I'm gonna look at this later. Go ahead.
Right? Now, go down to verse 13.
Okay, wait. Let me just copy this on notes. Okay. So verse 13. Okay.
right? And he shall take a wife in her virginity,
Got it.
right? So click on that verse.
Click on this right here.
Yep, yep. Because remember, in Isaiah 7, it said a virgin
Right.
was going to conceive, and you said that that's a woman who never had sex, right?
Right.
But when we read about virginity specifically, what's used in the Hebrew is not that term alma, it's the term bethulim or bathwalyum.
Okay.
So when it wants to get exact to say that this woman never had sex, she's a virgin in this sense,
Right.
right? Because virgin has multiple meanings. In
Right, I
one sense,
see.
it means a young woman.
Yeah.
And then in another sense, it means a woman who never had sex.
Right.
That's another example of context versus etymology. Right? But what I'm telling you is that the etymology of this word, Bethulim, right? This is dealing with she never had sex. It's clarifying that.
So why don't it just, to avoid the confusion, why don't it just say marriageable woman, something like that, rather than virgin?
Because the text was written in words that they had available to them at the time that it was translated, and then that has been updated. And even with the updated editions, this is why I keep telling you the KJV is not that bad.
So
Because
what's the updated edition?
These new translations of the Bible, they really impose their belief systems into the text. They outright change things.
Give me an example of an updated edition.
Of an updated edition,
Yeah.
the English Standard Version, the New Living Translation, the New International Version, the New King James Version.
Wait. All right. Let me see this right here, what you talking about. So what chapter was that again?
What about
The Moses.
about the priest?
No. Isaiah.
That's Isaiah 7.
Right. What the hell is this over here, man? God, clickbait. Did I skip past it? No, right here. NWL NLT. Let me just make it bigger. It says virgin here too.
Yeah. Because that's a word that's still used in modern English, but the way that it's used contextually today is not the same as how it was used.
So I was saying, is there updated Bible? Is there updated English Bible that just says what it's supposed to mean in our language?
I mean, in any sense, that is. But here's the thing, right? The English language, people play a game with the English language, and it's called semantics, right? It's called playing semantics, right? When you actually delve into the study of semantics, it's dealing with the origins of words, right? And what a word originally meant, or what it meant at the time that it was written down, versus what it means in everyday language. So you have to be able to read between the lines and do study enough to differentiate, okay, well, in this context, it's talking about this, but in this context, it's talking about that. And why is that? Because words have multiple definitions. So you establish what's the right definition by the context itself.
So just to sum it up, what's your overall point about 7:14? Like what point you making?
So the first point was, right, the word virgin is not the same as the word that's used for virginity, which it should be if your point is correct.
Okay.
But it's not, right? So, right, we're going to keep on reading, right? Because you know that this is a prophecy about Christ, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this is verse 15. It says, by the time this child is old enough to choose what is right and reject what is wrong, he will be eating yogurt and honey.
Yogurt. Really?
right? For before the child is that old, the lands of the two kings you fear so much will both be deserted, right? So what is that talking about Jesus?
Yeah.
So
Well,
who
well,
are
well.
those?
No. Because it's talking about the people you mentioned earlier in verse 1.
Right. It's staying true to the context of the chapter. This is talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. I mean, the northern kingdom teaming up with Syria to fight against the southern kingdom. So it said before that child Emmanuel gets old, those two kings, both of their lands are going to be deserted. And this is in the time of Isaiah. Right? All right. So now, right? Keep on reading.
And wait, then the Lord will bring things on you, your nation, and your family, unlike anything since Israel broke away from Judah. He will bring the king of Assyria upon you.
Uh-huh. And let's talk. Yep. Yep.
That,
Keep going.
okay. In that day, the Lord will whistle for the army of southern Egypt and for the army of Assyria. They will swarm around you like flies and bees.
Mm-hmm. Now go to chapter 8. Just because we already established that prior and after the verse about the virgin, right, conceiving and having the child Emmanuel, the context is talking about this specific instance between Israel
Yeah.
and Judah, right? So let's go to chapter 8, right? And it said before that child grows up, right? Or before that child gets old, rather, those two lands would be destroyed,
Right.
right? They would be uninhabited.
Under
Right. So
Assyria.
this is Isaiah 8 and 1. It says, Then the Lord said to me, make a large signboard and clearly write this name on it. Maher Shalal Hashbaz. Right. I asked Uriah the priest and Zechariah, son of Jeberechiah, both known as honest men, to witness my doing this. Then I slept with my wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. And the Lord said, Call him Maher Shalal Hashbaz. For before this child is old enough to say Papa or Mama, the king of Assyria will carry away both the abundance of Damascus and the riches of Samaria. So, in a primary context, this whole thing that it's talking about the virgin conceiving and giving birth to a child is talking about Isaiah having sex with his wife.
Okay. But it's also prophesying Jesus, right?
But yes, but it's also prophesying about Jesus. So
Okay.
now that's where we get into the topic of dual fulfillment of
Right.
prophecy.
So you got a carnal fulfillment, you got a spiritual fulfillment. All right, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me respond to the verses you brought out in John 1:45
Mm-hmm.
and John 6:42. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me share what I know. So I'm gonna go to let me go to Matthew first. Matthew 1. Can you see the screen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is perfect because this is exactly where we were supposed to go now.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to stay right here. I just want to answer when they call him the son of Joseph real quick. I'm respond to that. So I just want to say two things about this. Okay. So the angel of the Lord appeared unto the son until Joseph, the son of David, right? And then he mentioned her pregnancy, right? So I want to just footnote this what's that called? Bookmark that. Okay, so then you go to Luke. Right? So remember, this is just responding to the two verses you read about. They called him the son of Joseph.
The son of Joseph, yeah.
Right. So an angel came to Mary and told her about the pregnancy. Okay. So both verses, they told Joseph and Mary what the baby shall be called. Okay. I'm going to highlight it.
Right.
Shall be called, I'm sorry, the son of the highest, the son of God. Right. So the only two people who know that was Joseph and Mary. So the people you Pastor, you read, there's no way they would have known that. So of course, if they see Joseph with Mary and they're married and they got a kid, it's safely to assume that that's Joseph's kid. They wouldn't have known this. But the prophecy says the people who really know will call him the son of God, not the son of Joseph. So that's the prophecy.
So hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on, right? So I got a couple points.
Yeah.
First point, right? Luke and the angel coming to Mary. The angel comes to Mary before she conceives. And that's why it says, thou shalt conceive.
Right, it's a prophecy, right.
Will conceive, right? So that's before Mary got pregnant. The
Yeah.
angel came to her, and that's
I
the
agree.
account in Luke 1, right? But after Mary was already pregnant, the angel came to Joseph in Matthew chapter 1, right? Now, if we go through Matthew chapter 1, starting at verse 15, I will show you why it does not mean that they did not have sex. We have to go through these verses.
So I wasn't arguing that. I was just pointing out why those people called him the son of Joseph, not the son of God. There's no way they would have known the secret from the angel.
Yeah, right. I understand that. I understand that.
Okay. So now let's go to
my rebuttal to that though. My rebuttal to that though, right? Is anybody else ever called the son of God?
Those people who called him son of God actually knew who he was, but most people didn't call him that.
Right, but is anybody else called the son of God?
I'm sure. People. Give me an example.
Right.
Chapter and verse though. Chapter and verse.
Hosea 1 and 10.
Okay, let's go there. Hosea 1 and 10. There we go. Dang. I don't ever come to, I don't know. I've never been here before. Hosea 1 and
yeah, God told Hosea to marry a prostitute.
Really?
Yeah.
Now we read you ain't supposed to do that. Oh, that's the priest. All right, cool.
Yeah, the priests were not supposed to do that.
So go ahead.
All right, Hosea 1 and 10, it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Okay. The sons of the living God.
Right. The children of Israel are called the sons of the living God. Yep.
Well, it says it right there. Okay. That's a good chapter and verse.
Right. So do the children of Israel not have biological fathers?
Yeah, of course they do. But the difference is that the prophecy, so the prophecy, don't forget, the angel was a secret to Mary and Joseph. Nobody knows. So all I'm saying with that, okay, because this says what it says. All I'm saying was that.
Hold on. And I even have a rebuttal to that. You said that nobody knows, but Elizabeth knew because.
Of course, because Elizabeth was a sign for Mary. So Elizabeth and John. I'm saying among that tight knit, because the angel came to them too. So I'm saying the people the angel came to, they was in on it. But if the angel didn't come to you, you ain't know about it. So it's common sense that they will call him everything but the son of God because they had no idea what's going on. So you want to go to Matthew's?
Yeah, we could go to Matthew, right? And even still, with all that being said, right, you have to superimpose that into the text to make it fit what we have always been taught about the virgin birth, which is a Catholic doctrine.
But it's true.
Exception. You yourself agreed, though, right, that the Catholic Church has idols and images set up, right, for Lucifer.
Yeah, they don't get everything right, but they don't get everything wrong.
No, but it's funny, though, when you know that and you come to find out, like I mentioned about the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican, at the top of the Vatican, right? I mean, at the top of the obelisk that's next to the Christmas tree at the Vatican, it has an 8-pointed star, or the Star of Ishtar, and it has a cross, right? Which that cross is not the cross that Jesus was hung on. Jesus was not hung on a T-shaped cross. Right? Jesus was hung on an X-shaped cross. That T-shaped cross, right, is a pagan idol involved in the worship of the god Tammuz, right? And Tammuz is the son, or supposedly believed to be the reincarnation of Nimrod through his wife Semiramis, who conceived him by a virgin birth.
So I'm saying this. Yeah, they might have got some things wrong, but they didn't get everything wrong. So I'm saying, like, they're in the same boat as King James. Like, we read the King James Bible, got some verses translated wrong, shouldn't even be there, but you still say don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. So I'm
Right.
saying the same thing about the Catholic Church. They got some things wrong, they out of worship, but you can't throw away everything, the baby in the bathwater. There's
Right.
some
But
things they said that was correct.
we have to not engage in idolatry, though, because that's against
That's true.
Christ.
That's true.
So when we understand that Mary, right, like in the Catholic Church, there's a song called Ave Regina. You ever heard of that? That's Latin.
No.
Right? Ave Regina means hail the Queen of Heaven, right? Or Ave Regina, and then whatever the next word is, right? It's hail the Queen of Heaven. And it's talking about Mary, because this whole concept, right, of Mary and baby Jesus and Joseph and there being a virgin birth is really just an updated version of how the Catholic Church incorporated the worship of pagan gods, Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz, into Christianity so that pagans would conform to the church. They allowed them to continue their idolatrous practices. They just said, we're going to say it's about Jesus now.
Well, it's funny that the King James and every other Bible read the same way. So, and you're going to read it too. You said Matthew's 1 and what?
All right, start at Matthew 1 and 1.
1 and 1? Okay.
Yeah. Right. This is the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, or Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Right. So before I even read this, whose lineage is this?
This is, from my knowledge, this is Joseph's lineage.
This is Joseph's lineage. That's correct, right? Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren, and Judas begat Perez and Zerah of Tamar, and Pharez begat Ezram, and Ezram begat Aram. Aram begat Aminadab, and Aminadab begat Naasan, and Naasan begat Salmon. Salmon begat Boaz of Rahab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David. Right, scroll down.
Yeah, my bad.
And Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Uriah. And Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abiah, and Abiah begat Asa, and Asa begat Josaphat, and Josaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Ozias, and Ozias begat Joatham, and Joatham begat Ahaz, and Ahaz begat Ezekias, and Ezekias begat Manasseh, and Manasseh begat Amon, and Amon begat Josias. And Josias begat Jeconias and his brethren about the time they were carried away to Babylon. All right, scroll down.
So you said scroll down?
Yep.
Okay. Wait a second. I'll just form some. All right. From what? From verse 10 or 11?
11.
Okay, got it.
Right, and after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salathiel, and Salathiel begat Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begat Abiud, and Abiud begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor. And Azor begat Zadok, and Zadok begat Achim, and Achim begat Eliud, and Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph,
Right.
the husband of Mary,
Right.
of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. And we already established, right, that sex is marriage, right?
Right. Well, sometimes, not all the time.
Sex is marriage, according to the Bible, right? Being betrothed is as good as being married, but being not really, because you're not married until you have sex.
Okay.
All right, so now scroll down. Or as a matter of fact, now go to the blue letter Bible, as a matter of fact.
Matthew's 1.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're going. Oh, I need to do that. What the fuck is this? What? Oh my god. I hate this damn Mac. Okay. Come here.
Right. Go to Matthew 1 and like what was that, like 16?
Yeah.
All right, right. All right. So it says, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, right, which sex is marriage,
Right.
of whom was born Jesus, who was called Christ.
Right.
So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations, and from David until the carrying away into Babylon are 14 generations, and from the carrying away into Babylon unto Christ are 14 generations. So Christ is listed as the 42nd member in this line of men, right? And nowhere else in this line of men is there an adoption or an adoption. Yeah, nowhere else in this line is an adoption. It's all a list of men, right, conceived through sperm.
Say that again.
Right. I said this is all a list of men who were conceived through sperm, and that's another point that we're gonna get to.
Yeah.
Christ,
So,
Christ being of the seed of David, right?
Can I respond to what you read though before we go too far?
Okay.
So it says, so all the generations from Abraham, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Abraham have a generation that starts with him, correct? And it goes down to David.
No, Abraham has a generation that started with him, and then Isaac was the next generation.
No, I'm saying it says, right, we're reading. It says, so all the generations from Abraham to David. So it starts with Abraham and it's all the way to David, the generations.
Right.
Okay, so that means it's 14 of those. And then it says from David until carrying away.
A man, and then his son, and then his grandson, and then his great grandson, great great grandson, and then his great 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 grandson, so on and so forth.
Right. So is my screen still sharing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me get case in point. So I'm gonna go, because you went Old Testament, I'm gonna go Old Testament. Okay. So this says in this book of the generations of Adam, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it starts from Adam, the root, and all the way down, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it starts. That's where it starts genealogically. Yes.
Right. So I think you missed something in Matthew. Whose generation is in here?
Starts with Abraham.
No. Read verse 1.
Right. It's the book of the generations of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Right. So the generation
right. What is
with
it?
one person and
what does it mean to be generated?
Okay, so
how that
generations means that it starts from a father and go all the way down to the last person. So that's why I established in verse 17, it goes from Abraham to David, top to bottom, and then David, top to bottom, and then top to bottom again. Now, and I showed that in Genesis. It starts with Adam all the way down to Shem, Japheth, and Ham. This right here says this is the book of the generation, not of Abraham, not of David, none of those guys. It said this is the book of generation of Jesus Christ. So he's the top and everybody else is the bottom.
All right, so now can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Right? Can you go to Blue Letter Bible?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right? Go scroll up to the top.
Yep.
Right? And then click on NIV. Where it says KJV next to go.
Where?
At the top where you type in the search bar.
Right here?
To the right.
Okay, right here. I got it.
Yeah. And put NIV.
Yeah.
Right, and hit go. Right, Matthew 1:1. This is the genealogy of Jesus, the Messiah, the son of David, Abraham. Right. So if I say this is the genealogy of Thair, right? I'm going to talk about my fathers, not my children, even though it has me listed at the top before it even starts.
All right, so now let's see if
That-
17 is confirmed that. Let's go to 17 where it says Abraham. Because if it said the same thing, then the same rule applies. So 17 says, thus there were 14 generations in all from David to Adam. Okay.
No, it says there were 14 generations
in
in
all from
all
Abraham to David.
from
Right.
Abraham to David.
Okay.
14 from David to the exile to Babylon, and 14 from the exile to the Messiah, letting
Yes.
you know that Christ the Messiah is the last person at the bottom of this list.
So just to summarize, or just to conclude, you're saying that when it says genealogy is not starting with Jesus, is ending with Jesus.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. No problem.
Now,
I'm not gonna argue that.
ultimately, right? If you want to get into something deep, right? That's spiritual meat. We're on the milk right now.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Let me stay right here, because
If you want to get into how right, how all of Israel comes from Christ, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. No. So like I said, I'm not gonna argue that. I have no problem with that. No problem. I'll just let that one go. But I still had a problem with some other things you missed here. Okay, so when it says Abraham begot Isaac, was Isaac of a miracle birth?
Did an angel come to Abraham and tell him that he was going to conceive?
No. I mean, literally.
Oh, did you ask me a question? You said, was he of a miraculous birth?
Wait, let me turn my computer. Wait, don't say. Let me turn my computer. I can't hear anything. Let me turn my computer up. Don't say one word. I can't hear shit. And I should have been done that. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So you said, was Isaac born of a miraculous birth?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Okay. So
you want to get the scriptures on that?
Nah, we agree. So okay. Isaac begot Jacob. Was Jacob born from miraculous birth?
Yeah, with Jacob and Esau, the two nations in the womb. That is
no. Okay, so you might not know what I mean. Isaac. Okay, so when I say miraculous birth, I'm talking about their mothers. Isaac mother, Jacob mother, and I'm sorry, not their mother, their wives. Isaac wife Sarah, Isaac wife Rebecca, and Jacob wife Rachel. What they all have in common?
You tell me.
They were all barren, and the Lord had to open their wombs to have a kid. That's what I mean by miraculous births.
Mm-hmm. Right. So does the Lord opening their womb mean that the man did not have sex with them?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're starting off with miraculous birth, and we're going to end with one. So now, going further, it says Jacob begot Judas and his brethren. So now I find verse 3 interesting, because it says, and Judas begot Phares and Zerah of Tamar. Why isn't Onan, or Shelah in here?
Why are they not in there?
Right. Well, first of all, Judas' wife was Canaanite. That's one. So that's probably
hold up. That's irrelevant though, because in verse 5 it says Salmon begat Boaz of Rahab, and Rahab is a Canaanite, but
right. No, but I'm establishing something. So it says, and Judas begot Phares and Zerah of Tamar. So when it says Phares and Zerah of Tamar, highlight it. In your best guess, what does that mean? Because it says Judas begot Phares. So that simply we know that means Judas was the father of Phares and Zerah, right? There's no argument there, right?
Right.
Okay, so when it says Phares and Zerah of Tamar, what does that mean?
Can you repeat the question?
When it says Judas begot Phares and Zerah, he's the dad. When it says Phares and Zerah, so these are the children, right? So Judas begot the twins, he's the father of the twins. When it says the twins are of Tamar, your best guess, what is that?
That Tamar is their mother.
Yeah, real simple. So you see the pattern? When a dad is responsible for his son, the word begot there. When the mom is responsible for the kids, it's going to say of that the mom. All right. So now, but what's most interesting is this. You got two kids here but only one the line continues from. Why Pharis and not Zerah?
There's always a chosen line.
Right. So why would Pharis be chosen? Because Zerah was firstborn, by the way. So why would Pharis get the
You
nod?
sure about that?
Huh?
You sure about that?
Yes. Zara wrist got the scarlet. So when you put the scarlet ribbon around the hand, that's to acknowledge the first one was born. Like this is first. It said that in there. Okay. So why would it go through Pharis?
Right. So you said, right? Let me see.
Yeah. Go ahead. It's a lot.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So now, why would it skip Zara, who's the firstborn, and go to Pharis? Do you know?
Well, I mean, the promise has skipped the firstborn plenty of times. Like that's not an isolated event.
All right. So let me explain. When Judah's firstborn was correct?
Okay.
Okay. So when he was married, so it says Judas gave Tamar. And it says Judas, it says did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. Right? So now they had no kids.
See the same example with Reuben.
Yeah. So they had no kids.
We see Manasseh get passed up for the blessing.
Wait. Now I'm established. This is totally different. So here, I'm telling you why they got passed up. Because you kind of skipped what's going on here. Was married to Tamar. Judas is Tamar's father-in-law. He's not her husband.
I know the story of Judah.
Okay, yes. So what I'm establishing here is that
the prostitute.
Got it. So according to the Mosaic law, when a brother take on a wife and he dies and they have no kid, the second son is supposed to give seed to his brother,
which is called the levirate marriage.
Right. So now he gives seed to his brother. Whose kid is that? Is it the guy who went and had sex with her, or is it the brother?
Well, biologically, it's the person who had sex.
I'm saying
with her, biologically,
right. I got you.
Had sex with her, but on paper, it's
no. I'm saying according to Mosaic law, when they write down genealogy, who gets the credit?
That's exactly what I'm saying. When the genealogy is reckoned, that's the child of the brother who died.
Right. So in spite of
that, but biologically, that does not.
Right. No, I got you. But here we're not dealing with the Mosaic law. Doesn't really care about biology because they care about what is right, raising up seed to a brother.
Right.
So
the whole idea of the levirate marriage is so that the inheritance would be passed forth.
Right. But listen, what I'm saying though. Onan, when he went into Tamar, what did he do?
He spilled his seed.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why did he spill his seed?
All right. So what I'm trying to say, brother, is I'm not understanding the point that you're making.
Okay. So the point is that Onan spilled the seed because he said, I realized that this kid won't be mine. It'd be my brother. So the brother is getting credit in the Mosaic law in God's eyes for the son that's not biologically his. That's not his sperm, but he's getting the credit for his brother's actions. Now, so Pharis, the reason why Zara, it don't go through him, he was firstborn, because he's donated to So here it continues from Pharis because this is the second child. So this is rightfully Judas.
No, it continues with Pharis because from the line of Pharis is where you have the Messiah.
Right, but he only got the break because Zara was donated to because that was the first kid. So, but anyway, so moving on. It says Pharis begot Esrom begot Aram, right? And then Aram begot Aminadab, and Aminadab begot Nasan, and Nasan begot Salmon. So Salmon begot Boaz or Booz, right? So Salmon is the daddy because it says Salmon begot Booz. That's how we know you're the daddy. And then we know you're the mommy because it's going to say Booz of the woman. So it says Booz of Rechab, right? And then it says Booz begot Obed. He's the daddy because he's begetting. And then we know who the mommy is because it's saying Obed of Ruth. Obed begot Jesse. Obviously, Obed is the daddy. Okay, verse 6. Jesse begot David. We know who the daddy is. David the king. Okay, he's the only king mentioned here, by the way, by the word king. So David the king and David the king begot Solomon. We know who the daddy. and Solomon is of his mother Bathsheba, right? So we go to so that's gonna be the last of mentioning moms. From then on, we got dad begetting sons. No other terminology. So we go to verse 16, right? We got Jacob, the last begot. Jacob begot Joseph, and Joseph is the husband of Mary, and Mary is Mary of whom was born Jesus, who is called the Christ. So Joseph in his own lineage don't have any kids, not in Matthew 1.
All right, so can you go to blue letter or just go to the next tab so that you can pull something up for me, right?
Okay. Let me just cancel that one. Go here. I'm here.
All right. Type in Matthew 1. Right. Syriac is with a Y. Right. IAC. Yep. Syriac Sinaiticus.
All right, you gotta spell that.
SANAI.
Wait. SAN.
SINAI. Sinai.
Wait. Okay, like that, like that.
No. SIN.
Okay, wait. Oh, SIN.
AI.
I see it right there. I see it. Okay, we're here.
All right. So, right, look at the translation in the Syriac Sinaiticus
This one right here.
of that verse. Yep.
Okay.
And let's see. All right. Now you can back out of that. It should be maybe like, let's see. No, that's Syriac Sinaiticus. Right. I'm seeing
Right here.
the. All right. Yeah. Click that.
This ain't gonna be in English.
Click it. It should pop up with some English.
I clicked it. It's coming up. Come on. Did I click it? Oh, I'm about to say. Okay, we're here.
Matthew Old Syriac version, early translation. Okay. Into Syriac editions. All right, no, that ain't what I was looking for. Is go back. Right. Try Matthew 1 and 16 Syriac Sinaiticus.
Wait, say it again.
So how you had it typed in? Matthew 1 Syriac Sinaiticus.
So Matthew, okay, and then what? Oh, 1 and 16.
And then type in 1 and 16, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're here.
All right, so look, yeah, you can see right there, right? Right. This is an excerpt from this article, right? It says, I set aside for the time being the textual variant in the Sinaitic Syriac manuscript in Matthew 1 and 16, which says, Joseph, to whom was betrothed Mary the Virgin, begot Jesus, who is called the Christ.
Right.
So
Mary the Virgin begot Jesus.
So we do have early manuscripts that says Joseph begot Jesus.
That's not what that says. It says Joseph.
But how does so do you understand how commas work?
Yeah.
Right. So what's the context when it starts with Joseph, right? Joseph to whom was betrothed Mary,
right,
the Virgin,
right,
comma, that let you know, that clause right there let you know that Mary the Virgin, she was betrothed to Joseph, right? And then a comma, begot Jesus. It's not saying Mary begot Jesus. It's saying Joseph, to whom Mary was engaged, begot Jesus.
Nah, look. It says,
bro, listen. So now we're getting into a problem with understanding basic English punctuation.
Well, I actually do the grammar thing, so I want to share something with you. So it says, yeah, so we can't go there because my comprehension is A1.
What do you mean we can't go there? I
Well,
just
like saying the thing about grammar. So now listen, it says Joseph and then it pause. A comma means pause. It says Joseph, then it pause. And then it says to whom. Now, do you know to whom is a relative pronoun?
sure.
Okay. So it means that
It's a relative pronoun
right,
indicating that this clause is talking about who?
Joseph for right now.
Uh-huh.
For right now. So it says Joseph to whom was betrothed to Mary the Virgin. So the same way Joseph and it comma and it continued, now we have a new subject here. So it says Mary the Virgin, comma, the same behavior as Joseph, and it says Mary the Virgin.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No. That's we're not doing that.
Okay.
We're absolutely not doing that. Mary, right, does not become the subject of this clause, making the verb begot about her. That
Wait,
that,
is Joseph? Wait,
that's terrible.
is
bro.
Joseph the subject?
Joseph is the subject. It
So
said
are we forgetting
Joseph.
Jacob? No, Jacob is the subject.
Bro, I'm reading an excerpt of what's on the
Yeah,
screen.
but this ain't the full. Look, let's go here to King James. Okay, so now speaking about English, right? Because you said we got no English. Okay, so let me share English. And Jacob begot Joseph. Okay, Jacob is the subject, begot is the verb, and Joseph is the recipient of the verb. This is called a direct object.
That's correct.
Okay, so Joseph is the direct object of the actions of Jacob.
Subject, which is Jacob.
Okay, and then it says Joseph, right? The husband of Mary. So he's not only the son of Jacob, but he's the son of Mary. Now, it says
You said he's not only the son of Jacob, he's the son of
my
Mary.
bad.
The husband of
Yeah,
Mary.
you got it. Apologies. So he's not only the son of Jacob, but he's the husband of Mary. Who's Mary? Mary is of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. That's how that reads. So Jacob is the subject. This is the direct object. Boom. And then Christ is the other subject who is a recipient of this action here. So now let's go back. So like I said, I might not know the Strongs in the Old Testament, the Hebrew, but I know the Strongs in the Greek.
Listen, so what you're doing though, right? Here's the thing though, right? Now what you're doing though, that is I'm mind boggled.
All right, so let me So can I just get 2 minutes, right? That's all I want. So
you just spoke for like 2 minutes.
I know, but brother, you got to admit you did most of the teaching here. Okay, so
yeah, and there's a reason for that, right? Go ahead.
So that's right because you knew what you were talking about, you right? So I'm saying I got something to share here. So when you go to tools, like I said, when Hebrew, I know nothing about Hebrew, but I know some Greek. So when you click tools, right, we have the English KG on the left, we have the Strongs, and we have the parsing. Okay.
I understand how the parsing works.
So,
it tells you
so let me ask you this then. Right. So when it says begot 1080, right? This is Ganal, correct?
Okay.
And Ganal just means begot, correct?
Right.
And then we have it concerning of whom was we got but not again, right?
And so what part of speech is of whom?
Of whom is a relative. I said that earlier. Relative pronoun.
You said a relative pronoun. Yes. Does the parsing say that?
Yeah. Watch this. Relative pronoun.
Right. I said of whom. Right. What's the word of?
That's a possession proposition. That's real easy. So that shows ownership.
So
right.
So when you have a preposition.
Yeah.
Like this, right?
Yeah.
What does that make this whole clause?
Okay. This makes this statement. It says, look, it says Mary of possession, proposition, belonging to, of whom, relative pronoun. Relative pronoun means that, look, let me click it for you. So look, it's in the feminine. It's not in the masculine for a reason. The genitive, it's in the singular feminine. So basically a relative pronoun, let me click it. A relative pronoun is a pronoun that is used to refer to nouns mentioned previously. So this is the relative pronoun, and the noun mentioned previously is Mary, not Joseph. So this refers to only
Right, but okay, so
Mary.
you're saying, you keep on saying that it's talking about the of whom was born Jesus.
Yeah.
It's talking about Mary.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, so let's say that in theory, right, I gave you that one in the KJV.
Right.
When you
But this is the
go
Strong's here.
in that, and I'm saying in the KJV, right, in the Greek rendering.
Okay.
Right. I already showed, right, the Syriac Sinaiticus, which is what I would present as a rebuttal to show that Joseph begat
it actually
Jesus.
agreed.
And so here's the problem, though. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
None of what you're saying is relevant because English and Greek grammar rules do not apply to the Syriac.
Brother, is the Syriac Greek?
You said, is the Syriac Greek?
Right.
Were the Syriac and Greek spoken at the same time?
No, I'm saying you have ancient Greek, you have modern Greek. Is the Syriac ancient Greek?
No, the Syriac is not ancient Greek or modern Greek.
Okay, so what language is that in? We'll Google it right now.
You said what?
What language is this the Syriac?
The Syriac Sinaiticus?
Yeah.
Is in Syriac.
Okay, so let's look it up. Syriac. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay. So what language? Okay. Okay. Let's go with history here. Let's go way down. The history.
Oh, and look at that. Would you look at that?
What's that?
You see what's on that picture right there?
To the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
Matthew chapter 1,
right.
verses 17.
Right. So let's do this. Okay. Both the Syriac Sinaiticus, designated SYRS, and the Curetonian Gospels, designated SYR Cure, British Library at 1451, Stat Bibliothek Berlin Orient Quad 528, known as the Old Syriac Version, contain similar renderings of the Gospel text. Its conformity with the Greek and the Latin has been debated. Additional passages of the Old Syriac Version were discovered among the new finds of St. Catherine's Monastery. Even so, Syr retains some of the readings even from earlier lost Syriac Gospels and from the 2nd century Septuagint manuscript. Okay, so this is Greek, which brought forth the 4th Gospels into harmony with one another, selected readings and emendations. Okay, so now history.
Right. You want to go to notable readings.
Where we at? Top, bottom, where we at?
Bottom.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so notable readings. The Palampus last 12 verses of Mark, Christ's agony, the periscope, adultery, and the reconciliation of Pilate with Herod. In Matthew, it contains Joseph to whom, it contains Joseph to whom was betrothed Mary, the virgin, begot Jesus, who is called the Christ. Okay, see?
Okay, so why is that a notable reading in this text?
Does it, okay, there's a footnote here. I don't know.
Right, no, that is the source.
Right.
Where it's cited from.
So
right.
where does it explain?
The reason that it's a notable reading, it falls under the notable reading section, is because this is quoted, cited frequently by people who do not believe in the Immaculate Conception to show that our early, yes.
That's
No.
right.
Oh, so if that's a notable. Okay, so right. Look at the notable reading above.
So this actually tells you. This says it said notable readings, and it explains. It says the palimpsest lacks. So it's telling you what is lacked. It lacks the 12 verses of Mark. It tells you exactly what it lacks: Christ's agony, the
Mhm.
periscope adultery, and the reconciliation of Pilate with Herod. That's what it lacks
Right. So those. So why is that notable?
because it lacks those things.
And so why is it lacking those things notable?
Okay, because it's pointing out that those things were not there possibly in the old.
Right. And why is that notable? Why does that matter?
Okay, because they're going to the original writing.
Because that would be contrary to other manuscripts from the same time. That's why it's noticeable. I mean, that's why it's notable.
Okay, so now it goes to Matthew. It said in Matthew 1:16, it's telling you what it contains.
Mhm.
It's telling you these scripts contains Joseph, it's a quotation, to whom was betrothed Mary. So it's not Mary here. So throw that out. So it says it contains Joseph to whom was betrothed Mary the virgin. Mary the virgin begot Joseph, who is called the Christ.
Right. So why is that notable?
It's pointing out that this is the original word here, and this is the original word here. Begot. That's why. Because they know that
Bro, listen, in all honesty,
yeah.
right? That one you just pulled out of thin air.
Okay, you explain then.
You literally just pulled that out of thin air.
All right, so explain to us.
You know why? You know why?
Yeah.
Because the Syriac writing does not have these commas.
Okay, of course they don't have commas.
Right. So you're applying English grammar right here into a Syriac text that does not contain that grammar.
Of course, there's no comma. There's no quotations. There's no semicolons, colons. But that's
Right.
all.
So okay. So now, if you go back to Google and type in Matthew 1 Syriac Sinaiticus like you originally typed in, you will see that what I'm telling you is true, and there's a whole article about how
I didn't see
you can
anything
look
different.
at two different manuscripts and come up with two doctrinally significant variants.
Okay, so I noticed you asking me about grammar punctuation, and if they don't have the commas, why would you ask me about that? That shouldn't be there. So that's even supports me even better, because now it reads like this: Joseph. It don't read Joseph to whom was born. Now it just say Joseph to whom was betrothed Mary the Virgin begot Jesus, who was called Christ, who was called the Christ. So it's we're not getting away from this. We're not.
That's fine. But listen, that's fine if you have to superimpose that into there. That is fine.
So
Now,
how do you
right,
read
so
this?
in any case, look, Joseph, to whom was betrothed Mary the Virgin. Mary the Virgin was betrothed to Joseph, begot Jesus. How is it not talking about Joseph?
Okay,
This
so
is
look,
insane to me.
I got you.
What's insane to me is that it's an entire genealogy of men, a genealogy of men that has women listed in it. And when you get to the end of the genealogy, you say, oh, the last person, he doesn't have a dad, even though his dad is listed in this genealogy. Doesn't make any sense.
All right, so let me read to you what this say to me. Wait, no, I'll read back what you're saying. You're saying this says Joseph. We're skipping on.
Yes, it's saying that Joseph.
All right, wait. Jesus. It's my turn. It's my turn. So, so you're saying we're going to read Joseph. We're going to ignore all this right here, and we're going to go to Joseph begot Jesus, who is called the Christ. So we're going to ignore all this right here.
Yeah. So my question is, right, if we remove that clause, right, to whom was betrothed Mary the Virgin, is it still correct? A grammatically correct sentence?
If we remove Jacob and just says begot Jesus, would that be grammatically correct? That phrase?
You said what? Repeat that.
If we remove anything, like it says Jacob begot Joseph, so if we remove Jacob and it just says begot Joseph, would that be correct? So my point is, if we remove any grammar, it's probably not going to make any sense.
No, but that's not true though, because we can remove the whole clause to whom was betrothed Mary the Virgin, and it will stay Joseph begot Jesus, who was called the Christ.
Now, actually, brother, the way nouns and subjects work, it's the last name mentioned is tied to that verb. It doesn't. You don't skip a noun. Can you show me any? You mentioned grammar earlier. You said basic grammar. Can you show me any grammar where a noun is mentioned and another noun is mentioned and the verb is mentioned afterwards and that last noun is skipped?
Bro, repeat that.
Okay. You said grammar, which I know, right? I know English grammar very well. So I said, can you show me anything when it comes to verbs, nouns, and direct objects? Because you're telling me now that Joseph is the subject, begot is the verb, and Jesus is the direct object, and this means nothing. This don't do anything to that. So I said this. I said, are you telling me, give me a situation in grammar, basic elementary grammar. When you have a noun that's mentioned first, and a noun mentioned afterwards, and then the verb, and then the direct object, when does the second noun just omit it? It just means nothing. It just skip past.
Right. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it just should be omitted. It just should be skipped past. I'm saying that if we were, in theory, to remove this clause from this sentence right here, we still have a complete sentence and a complete thought that lines right up with the linear logic of the rest of the passage. Now, let's say, like, let me see if it works like this, right? Matthew 1:6. Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Uriah. Right? If we remove the clause of her that had been the wife of Urias, we still have a complete thought that makes sense, right? Which is that David the king begat Solomon. Just the order of how the words are arranged is different.
So I'm gonna do you one better. So it doesn't start with Joseph, by the way. Start with Jacob. So let's just erase Joseph and Mary, according to your logic. Then Jacob begot Jesus. So if you start erasing things, then we don't only have Joseph as the father. So let's not stop with Mary. So Mary begot Jesus, but we're gonna ignore that. And we're gonna erase Mary. Well, let's erase Joseph. And now we got Jacob begot Jesus.
Okay, well, it could be attributed to Jacob. And
Well,
it still wouldn't be grammatically incorrect.
Yes, it would, because Joseph is the direct object. He's done. He's done.
So you're telling me, and Jacob begat Jesus, who was called Christ, is not a grammatically correct clause? That's not an independent clause?
That according to this line right here in 16, that's wrong. So and let me explain.
Bro, I'm not asking you about if it's right or if it's wrong. I'm asking you if it would be a correct, grammatically independent clause. Yes or no?
Yeah, if you take out.
Yes, it would, and that nullifies your point. All right, no, so in any case, right, I'm starting to get a little, you know what I'm saying?
I can tell.
So let me chill, right? So yeah, now let's continue though. Let's go into the Greek. Let's go further into chapter 1, like verse 18. Are you cool with that?
Well, can I just establish the Strongs? Because
yeah, go ahead.
You went to Strong. I'm gonna go to Strong. Okay. So now let's break this down. So now there's two begots here. It says Gana on both. The problem is that when you go back to 16, they got was born for a reason. The reason why they don't got begot here is because this is in the passive. So when it's in the passive, the subject is the recipient of the action. It's actually backwards. So for example, let me show you this.
No, and I have to rebut that, right? The reason that it says, right, it doesn't say that Mary.
I can't finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So now I'm gonna show you a case in point. So you went up earlier, I'm gonna go up earlier. So because there was mothers mentioned up here, by the way. Okay, so now watch this. If what you're saying is right, then this would say Solomon begot Booz. Okay, and it goes straight to of Rechab. That's the language. So it says Solomon begot Booz, and then Rechab still gets credit for the child because the child is of Rechab. Now, if you go back to 16.
So Rahab, right? Rahab is credited as the mother, but you can't say that the credit is given to her when it literally said the man begot the
Right.
son.
So look. I think you missed what I did just now. So it
Listen,
says,
I know. Listen, I understand what's going on. You're saying that, oh, up here it should be worded. It's worded differently down here in these
no,
verses
but brother,
because it's denoting that Mary had Christ of a virgin birth.
wait.
And what I'm telling you is that everything that you've been saying so far is you superimposing.
Okay, so let me just read it. So
So,
just give me 30 seconds. So this reads both parents. It says, and Salmon begot Booz of Rechab. Okay, if the author wanted you to know that in 16, it would have said, Joseph begot Jesus of Mary. Because what you're not going to skip, and let me go back to the Strongs. What you're not going to skip.
right? No. So that's a problem, though. That's a problem.
Okay, no problem. You can rebut it.
What's the difference? What's the difference between Ruth, Rahab, Tamar, and Mary?
Okay, so it simply
What's
said,
what's the difference? What's the difference between them? That's my question.
I got you. It simply says the dad begot the son. We don't read that in verse 16. And then it says the son is of the mother. We only get half of that. So in 16, it only says Mary, of whom was born Jesus. Okay, so but we don't get Joseph begot anybody. And the Bible just could have made it real simple. Jacob begot Joseph, Joseph the husband of Mary, and Joseph begot Jesus. But it left the verb ganao in a passive sense. Not so let me just explain this. The active sense means the dad is doing the action. The passive sense is the action is done to somebody else. So Joseph could never be the dad because the action is not active. It ain't him doing it. It's happening to Jesus. The person being born is Jesus. So nowhere in there where Joseph is the father. Any way you want to do that, you can go.
All right. Now, right. In any case, right, I'm gonna say I already presented Syriac Sinaitic.
Okay.
Right. We went through the grammar. So at this point, we're just gonna have to agree.
Oh yeah, no problem. So let's go to 18.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree, right? And we're gonna move on to verse 18.
Yeah, no problem. And that's the thing. Like, I don't mind you getting a little fiery because you're a man, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
And it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing.
No, bro. That's not how I look at it.
You had a great dialogue. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I played basketball, bro.
I get it.
Bro, I played basketball. We be dinner on the fight during the game, but after the game, we clap hands. So we are
exactly. Absolutely.
we are sword fighting. So it's not supposed to be, yo, my brother, you all right? No, knock me down and you dig. Don't kill me, but knock me down and disarm me. So okay, let's go to verse 18.
All right. Right. So it says, now the birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise, when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Right. So what does that mean?
So that means to me, before they came together to possibly have sex, she was already pregnant.
Right. So, all right. So now can we go to the blue letter?
Yes. Let me get out of here. So we're back using the blue letter?
Yeah.
Okay. I hate when it does this. How do you get out of this shit? Okay. All right. So we're at 18. Okay. Where are we going now? Click it.
Yeah. Right. So what we were taught, right, by this Catholic birth doctrine,
right,
that
you got to come back.
Is that when it says before they came together, she was found with child, it means before they had sex.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Right. So let's look at the word come together, before they came together.
Okay. Where we at? Okay, got it. So it's a phrase.
So click on that Strong's G 4905.
All right, let me get rid of some tabs. My things are slowing up. Okay, so click on the. All right, I'm gonna clear a new tab so we can stay right there. Okay, cool. We're here. All right, I'm sorry. I'm going too fast. Let me slow down. You tell me what to do.
Now you're good, right? So you can look at the word, play the pronunciation. It should be like something to the effect of like Sina Kome.
Suner kom ahi.
Strong's G 4905. Sunerchamai.
Wow,
Sunerchamai.
I was totally wrong. Yeah, okay. So it's a
Right. All right.
It's a verb.
Right. We have the root words. Right. Part of speech is a verb. Right.
Yep.
Greek inflections. Right. Texas receptus. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Right. KJV translates this. Right. Come together. Go with. Come with. Resort. Come. Come with. Company with. Accompany. Assemble with. Right. Outline of biblical usage. Scroll down a little bit. Right. Of conjugal cohabitation.
Yeah.
Right. What is cohabitation?
That means getting together on some old sexual shit.
Right. No, but I mean, what does the word cohabitation mean?
That means living together.
It means living together.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
It means so when it says before they came together, she
Right.
was found with a child. It's before they were living together as husband and wife. She was still in her parents' house, or he was still in his parents'
Are
house.
you
They were
sure?
both still in their parents' house. Right. So what does the word cohabit mean?
All right. So
Right.
let's
And what does conjugal mean?
so let's look that up. Because that's what we do here. We've been looking everything up. Shit. Man, I didn't skip a lot of stuff. Okay. People ask, what is the meaning of conjugal cohabitation? The state or condition living together in a conjugal relationship without being married.
Right, but we know that the Hebrew people they equated sex to marriage, so that whole without being
Not all
married.
the time though.
They didn't equate sex to marriage.
Most of the time, not all the time.
I mean, in cases of fornication, it wouldn't be marriage.
Now, well, I can show you some places where they were married and they didn't have sex.
Where they were married and they didn't have sex, but that's not a valid marriage.
Well, but the
Right.
Bible acknowledges it as being married.
Okay, all right. In any case, right? We're getting sidetracked.
Okay, I'm following your lead right now.
Right. So, to cohabit means to live together. Right. Conjugally means you're sleeping together. Right. We already know that Mary was espoused or betrothed to Joseph. Right. So before they came together means before they got their place, before they shacked up, right? Before they came and lived together. She was found with child of the Holy Spirit. Right? Nowhere is that word sinerkomai that I've seen anyway used of people having sex. I haven't seen that.
Now what I could okay, so there's a law in the Bible, in the Mosaic law, is that you get married and don't have sex. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that the Bible agrees with the United States law, that another man could take your wife, and it's not adultery. So basically, if you get married and you go to battle, and another man take your wife, that's just what it is.
Right, I'm familiar with that law, and that
Right.
No, but that actually would demonstrate the fact that a betrothal or a promise to marriage is not a marriage itself, because that woman is the wife of the person.
Are you sure? So let me ask you this: are you telling me somebody who's betrothed, they're not considered a wife, or he's not considered the husband also?
They would be considered, right? That's why I said it's legally, right? It's viewed the same as marriage, being betrothed, especially from a Hebrew perspective, but not really, because without the consummation of the relationship, the whole betrothal and all that falls apart. It has no there's no concreteness, right? Like in the times of ancient Israel, right? What did the virgin have to do? right? She had to give her parents the token of her virginity, which was the blood on the sheet. And that was what the parents kept to prove that they gave this man a virgin like they promised. So he had to now uphold his end of the agreement.
Right.
Right. But so anyways, we're getting sidetracked. In any case, to cohabit means to live together. So when it says before they came together, it doesn't mean before they had sex, she got pregnant by the Holy Spirit. It means before they were living together.
Yeah, I look at it
She
as
became pregnant, and all of these events were guided through the Holy Spirit.
okay. So let's go with that. Like how you gave me the benefit of doubt earlier. Let's go with that. So I want
Whose child is it?
yeah.
It says she was found with child of the Holy Ghost. That does not mean that the Holy Ghost is the biological father of the child.
All right, no problem. Let's keep. Okay, cool, no problem.
That's a figure of
We'll
speech,
disagree. Well, yeah, I won't
right?
even debate that.
I mean, the scriptures also say that Christ is of the seed of David. So is God the Father his biological father? Is the Holy Spirit his father,
Well,
or is King David his biological
okay, now
father?
remember you said this. You said etymology and context. So now we know that Christ was not a son of David. We know that he had other kids, Solomon, Nathan. So we know when it says context wise, we know when it says he's the son of David. That's some
Right.
spiritual
It means
stuff.
that he's a biological descendant of him.
Okay, well I look at it as a spiritual son because he's not directly his son. Okay, so
But the Bible disagrees with that. In Matthew chapter 1 disagrees with that. It says this is the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham.
you want to go with that? You want to go with that?
I mean, it's what the text says.
Okay, so can I get you a verse?
And let me be clear. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying that King David is Jesus' biological father.
Okay, so can I get you a precept on that to give you better understanding?
You said you want me to give you a
No,
precept on
I'm
that?
gonna give you a precept of the whole David Jesus thing, okay?
You got okay. Go ahead.
Or no, I could no, you finish first. I'll come back. I'll write it down.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, you know, because I won't cut your bill. You ain't cut mine. Go ahead.
All right. So verse 19, right? It says,
Yeah.
then Joseph, her husband,
Right.
being a just man and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privily. Right? Okay, so what does it mean that he was So first of all, right, if a woman committed adultery against her husband or was suspected of it, what should a just man do?
I don't know about a just man, but the law says that
Uh-huh.
you're supposed to bring her to the gate of elders and stone her.
You're supposed to bring her to the gate of the elders and stone her?
Yeah, but that don't make you a just man.
Hold on. Right. First of all, you're supposed to make a diligent inquisition into what took place because people make accusations all the time. And this is where Christians have a fundamental misunderstanding of God's laws. You didn't just, I think my wife cheated on me, so I'm going to take her to the gate and stone her. No, you had to prove it out of the mouth of 2 and 3 witnesses.
Right. I know that. Yeah, I know that.
Right. So no, a just man wouldn't take her just to be stoned.
Wait.
Right. A just man would, in the case of a suspected adultery, right? There's a law that specifically deals with that. A just man would take his wife to the priest, and the priest would take dust from the floor of the tabernacle and put it in water and make the woman drink it. And if she committed adultery, it says that her thighs would rot.
Now watch this. I'm gonna give you a little pushback. Little pushback. You can't read where a just man does that. Are you going in the Old Testament? So that's your insertion saying just man. Are you going to read is a guy following the law? Now watch this race, but that'll make you just. You can be wicked as hell.
So hold on. That's not. Hold on.
Yeah.
Right. The Old Testament lets you know that all of the judgments of the Lord are righteous. And that's one of the judgments of the Lord. So what you're saying is that God's law that he implemented is somehow evil or it's not
Okay, so
right.
are you
And
sure?
and Paul, the apostle Paul, the beloved brother Paul, would definitely disagree with you as well.
Okay, so are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure?
We can do this, but let's finish right
Yeah,
here
yeah,
first.
yeah. Okay, yeah. This is a back burner. This is a second discussion. Go ahead. I
Right.
disagree. I just want to say that I disagree.
Okay, that's fine. Right. Joseph, her husband, being a just man
Yeah.
and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privily. So what does it mean that he was going to put her away privily?
Divorce.
Okay. Can you pull up the blue letter Bible?
Yeah. Let me do that for you. Let me get rid of some of these tabs. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. We're past that, right? Oh shit. Hey. This guy. All right. Where we at? Oh, right here. So click on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go down. To where? Privily or put away?
Let's look at put away first.
Okay. Because we read that earlier in your verse with the whore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
but the verse about the whore was in Hebrew.
Yeah, but right. And the Hebrew has seed, and so does the Greek has the word seed. So
Right.
you have
The Greek word for seed is sperma, and
right.
the
And
book
what's
of
the Hebrew word for
Acts,
Greek?
Christ comes from the
Sperm.
seed of David.
Now I'm saying, what's the Hebrew word for seed? Is zera, right? Okay.
Yeah, that would be correct.
Right. So when God said the mustard seed, he talking about sperm?
No, but that's specifically designating a mustard seed. When he talks about the sperm of David, yes, the seed of David or the seed of a man, yes, it's talking
All
about
right.
sperm.
So I'll challenge that later, but let's deal with what you want to go to. So
Right, okay,
so
put her away, right?
which one?
Apolio, autos, apolio, right?
This one?
Yeah, it shows up twice, right? Apolio, autos, apolio. Go ahead, click it. G630.
Okay, I didn't see. All right, which one? 630?
Yeah, 630.
Okay. I guess that's why I got an arrow saying it's a up above.
Yeah, because that whole phrase is connected.
Okay, cool. All right. Here we are.
Right?
I'm not even
Strong's G630.
Apolio.
Apaluo. Apaluo.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's look at the outline of biblical usage.
To set free, dismiss, bid, depart, send away. This is very important. I'm gonna go with that.
To
Let
bid,
go,
depart, send
release.
away.
Okay.
Where
Keep going. Where am I stop at? So it says to send
We see
one.
you see that in a certain context. It is definitely used of divorce, which I'm not denying that in any case, right? But the whole point of us going here is to demonstrate the point that this term apolio is not exclusive. This putting away is not exclusively to divorce. It can also mean to conceal or to hide or to dismiss or to let go or to send somewhere else.
Okay, so watch this. Watch this. So now let's not confuse outline biblical. That's context. Let's not confuse that with etymology, like you said earlier. So Strong's definition is to free fully. It says literally relieve, release, dismiss. Then it says figuratively let die, pardon, or especially divorce. It says let depart, dismiss, divorce, forgive, let go, let loose, send away, release, set at liberty. You can only do that to your woman in writing the bill of divorce.
No, you cannot only do that to your woman in the writing of a divorce, because I can tell my wife to go and spend a week at her mom's house. That's me sending her away. That doesn't mean that I divorced her.
So are you open to me reading verses where put away only means divorce and nothing else?
I mean, I have no problem with you reading those verses. And I did not deny, here's the thing, I did not deny that in certain contexts, the word apolio means to divorce. But in other contexts, it means to send away. way. So
Yeah,
what
right,
I'm
right. But
so,
I'm
so what
saying
I'm
that.
showing, so
I'm saying,
right,
I'm
right.
saying.
So
Look,
I'm showing you why and how we come to how we read this text and we come to a totally different conclusion other than the virgin birth.
all right.
Other than, not the virgin birth, because yeah, a virgin did conceive. Nobody denies that, right? But we deny the immaculate conception,
All right.
or that Joseph was not the biological
All right.
father.
So now watch this. So we're gonna go to the law of because we got language, right? Because you went to Old Testament to prove the law for the New Testament. So watch them do the same thing. So we got Deuteronomy, where we talk about divorce, because Joseph wanted to send her away privately, not publicly. He didn't want to make her a public example, let everybody know. So you can just
Right. So what I'm saying is that Joseph sending Mary away privily is him concealing the fact that she was pregnant, hiding her from public view to conceal the fact
no.
that she was pregnant before they came together.
All right.
And so here's the thing though, right? Somebody would say, "Oh, but why is that a big deal?" You're not taking into consideration societal norms and how people are expected to marry and leave their parents' house before being pregnant. And if a woman gets pregnant in her father's house, it's a shame to her, which is why Joseph was minded to conceal her.
Okay, so now we'll see which one make more sense. This is okay, so that won't make him a just man either, though. So now Deuteronomy 20.
How would that not make what's evil about that?
Okay, I didn't say evil. I said
You
just.
said that wouldn't make him a just man,
Okay,
right? To be unjust
okay.
and to be evil are
So
synonymous.
now let me read like you did earlier. Let's let the
Go
law
ahead.
speak. Let
Go
the
ahead.
law
Leviticus
speak.
20, Deuteronomy 24.
And
Yeah.
a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her, like adultery. Then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. Okay.
Okay.
Wait. I'm not done. Wait. Let me put this over here because the screen is like blocking my. Okay. So watch this. So you see, you write a bill of divorcement and you send them out. That's one. Now watch this. Watch this. Okay. So now let's go to Isaiah. This is way more clear. This is an example of this. You went to Isaiah.
Listen, I understand divorce, right? And once you give her a bill of divorcement, you send her from your house. That, however, does not negate everything that I already stated. I can send
Oh, so you
my
know this
woman.
stuff.
I can send my woman away without divorcing her. Those two are not. That
Okay.
one does not automatically equal the other.
Okay. So watch this.
And that, but
So Isaiah 51. Thus said the Lord, where is the bill of your mother's divorcement, whom I have put away?
Put away. I understand that
Right.
being divorced is also called being put away.
I can show you.
Away.
Okay,
like
now
you're not telling me anything that I don't know.
it's not about you. It's about bringing it out. So watch this. Last one, and you could continue. Last one. That's all I want. So now I did Old Testament. Let me go to New Testament, and we're going to see. Okay, here we go. Let me go here, and then I'll rest my case here, because I think this is just overwhelming through my point. So so here it says in verse 31. It says, let me widen my screen. Why is it so small? It says, it had been said, whoever shall put away his wife, let him give a writing of divorcement. So you put away your wife. And Matthew 1 say he was going to put her away privately. Now, can you show me now I show over and over that put away after a controversial thing like that, like she's pregnant and he thinks it's not his. Put away means divorce. Can you show me put away means something else?
Yes, I can. Matthew 15, verse 23.
Okay, got it. Matthew, we was already there. Matthew, cool. So I'm fair. I'll let you do your verse. We're both fair because we're both allowing it to come out. So Matthew's what?
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 23.
Okay, so we are here. Context?
Yep. The context is verse 22. A woman of Canaan came out from the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil.
Mhm.
But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. And that same word, apolio, is used in the Greek. So
Brother,
sending her away, did Jesus divorce this woman?
no, but he let her loose. So remember, it's context.
Right. So exactly. So
It's
so
okay.
I'm demonstrating
Wait,
an
wait.
example in context where
Okay.
send her away or put her away does not mean.
One thing was missed here. Can you show me a husband and or betrothed man and woman? Can you show me him sending his woman away to do something?
Okay, so now here's the problem,
Right.
right? Now the goalpost. Now you just keep on moving the goalpost
No, because
back.
that's called
And-
getting more specific, my brother.
right. No,
Because
but what
Joseph
you're
and
doing
Mary,
though is
Jesus have no ties with that woman, so of course get out of here. But I'm saying, show me something where a man and woman are together, like mine legally, and he just put her away or sent her away. Can you show me that anywhere in the Bible?
I don't have to show you that.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so continue from where you're going. So let's go back to Matthew and let's go back to 19. Okay, like you said, sometimes, you know,
Right.
it is what it is, right?
We will have to agree to disagree.
Right. I mean, and the thing is, for anybody listening, that's not a bad thing, right? For people just to move on, because it's not about him convincing me, because obviously my mind is more made up here than in Trinity, so I'm going to hold stronger, right? So his job is not to convince me, because some people just can be sealed and that's just it. His job is to teach people around me through me,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
And that's how I feel. So it's not about me convincing him, not about him convincing me. It's about us throwing out the best we can do, right? And then the audience take what they can get from it. That's it.
All praises. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, you're not crazy, right? And you're not saying anything that's like just, just baffling. Like, you are making some solid arguments. Okay. So yeah, so you ain't crazy. You making solid arguments. All right, let's carry on.
All right. So now, right, it said, but while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary, thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost. Right? So all of these events were dictated, were predestinated to happen through the Holy Spirit, right? Mary is Joseph's wife, right? And they conceived a child together. Joseph did not want everybody to know. He did not want to shame Mary publicly because she was still in her father's house. So he was going to hide this. And the angel came and told him, no, don't do that, because all of this is through the Holy Spirit.
So when angels come to people, it's no light ordeal, right? Angels come to confuse, to clear confusions, to either edify or to really to edify. So if this was a simple, hey, go away and have your baby somewhere, I don't know.
I mean, there's no sin. They did not sin by coming. They did not sin by her conceiving before they came together. But what they did is they broke societal norms and what's expected, and that would have brought shame to her father's
Okay,
house.
so watch this. Let's go. Let's go with that. Societal norms. Is societal norms lawful? Because remember, we're talking about the law. So upholding societal norms, that make you a just man, or if you break them, that make you a sinner.
Well, okay, so now, right? What makes you a sinner, as we established at the beginning
Right.
of this conversation, a violation of God's laws.
Right.
Nowhere in any of this that happened was there a law that was violated. So neither of them were in sin.
So why don't he? Okay, my question is this: you're saying that it is just looked upon, in a way, right? But
It is looked upon in a way, and especially back then, even much more so than now.
I got you. But it obviously is not looked away as a sin or something evil. Okay, so why would he, being a just man, care about opinions of people to send his wife to have the baby by herself somewhere, where an angel got to intervene and say, "Nah, Joseph, screw their opinions, yo." Now he's a just man.
Right? It didn't say that he was gonna send her into the wilderness
Where was he
like
going to send her?
Abraham did Hagar. Is saying like he was just gonna hide her from the public eye.
Okay, so now watch this. Joseph had sex with her, right?
Yes, Joseph had sex with
Okay,
her.
did he know that this was going to be a shameful thing?
You said, did he know?
Right.
Well, I mean, I would assume yes.
Okay, so he
Doesn't
did,
in the text say it doesn't in the text say yeah he knew, but it's saying that he being a just man or him being a righteous man, right? He knew that this was not what he went about it and what he felt was the wrong way.
okay, so I'm having trouble.
Uh-huh.
You can't control yourself. Your actions bring shame on your virtuous woman, and you're a just man.
Right, but yeah, he is a just man. You know why? Because all of these events were foreshadowed by the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit led him to impregnate Mary before they came together.
Yeah. So I mean,
you don't, right? It's okay. You don't have to.
yeah,
agree,
yeah. So
right?
it's the last
It's our
thing.
theological standpoint.
Yeah. So let me throw it out. Throw it out there. I have a hard time accepting that a man will or a woman will look at social norms almost equal to the law. Like I gotta hide my woman because
Listen, when you read in the scriptures, you see all the time that Israel started to care about societal norms more than the law. Yes, they did. For example, right, what happened in Babylon? Everybody bowed down to the golden idol except for four men: Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Daniel. Right? So the societal norm, what was expected out of that society, was for you to worship this golden calf, for you to worship this golden statue that Nebuchadnezzar made.
brother, that's called
And that wasn't the golden
idolatry.
calf.
That's called idolatry, brother. That's a sin.
Yeah, that is idolatry. Yeah, and idolatry was the societal norm.
No. Idolatry.
Yeah.
Look,
And so, yeah, yes, it was. It
okay.
was if it's whether
I got
it's
you.
forced
I got
or
you.
not.
I
It was
understand. But look, it was a social norm, but that was acknowledged clearly as an actual sin to the Most High. But forget about that. So we're skipping one word here, right? We went to mind and put away. Public example. Explain that.
To make her a public example.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing that I'm talking about with the societal norm. The making her a public example is bringing shame to her and her father's house because you impregnated her while she still lived in her father's house. Right?
So,
he wasn't going to make her. And so you're thinking, like, from the virgin birth, immaculate conception standpoint, you're thinking that making her a public example is that they were going to take her to the city square and the elders were going to stone her. But the text doesn't say that. It doesn't say that.
What the text says to me is that she came to his home pregnant. He's looking at a woman. Now you said this. You said you need witnesses. Yeah. That's only when you catch the woman in the act. This woman is actually pregnant. Okay. Now, if I'm correct, that's all you need now. This woman is. So we got the actual proof. Forget the act. This is better. We got this woman pregnant, and I didn't even touch her. Okay. So from my perspective, this woman is adulterous. Okay. So now, what I don't want to do is Deuteronomy 22. I don't want to bring her to the elders of the gate and have this woman stoned.
No. So here's the thing.
Wait, just let me finish the entire. I'm almost done, and I'm telling you, just 10 seconds more. It's probably less than that. So I don't want this woman stoned. I got too much respect for her. So I'm gonna be a just man I'm gonna write her a bill of divorce and send her on her way, like we just read. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is Numbers chapter 5 and verse 11, right? This is the adultery test.
Yep.
Right, it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, if any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, because you were talking about this point with adultery about, okay, well, if she's pregnant, then that's all the proof that we need because I never touched her, right? But you are imposing that, and the law itself does not say that, right? When there's a case, the priests always have to make a diligent inquisition into the matter, right? So in the case of adultery and it's hid from the eyes of her husband, like you would be saying that Joseph suspected Mary of adultery because he didn't see her commit adultery, but she got pregnant. So now he suspects her of adultery, right? The law says, right, and be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the manner, right? There's no witness to say that they saw her committing adultery, right? And she doesn't admit to committing adultery, right? And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled, or the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife. Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour nor oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, right? And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord, and the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take and put it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord and uncover the woman's head. This is Numbers 5. And I'm at verse 18. The
Hey,
priest shall
so
set the woman.
what chapter is this? Let me write it down.
Numbers chapter 5.
Okay, and you saw that what verse was you at?
I'm at verse 18 now. I started at like verse 11.
Okay, all right, just finish. I just want to look over it later.
Right, so it says, the priest shall set the woman before the Lord and uncover the woman's head and put the offering of memorial in her hands, and the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse, and the priest shall charge her by an oath and say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causeth the curse. But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee beside thy husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing, and the priest shall say unto the woman, Yahweh make thee a curse and an oath among thy people, when Yahweh the Lord doth make thy thigh to rot and thy belly to swell, and this water that causeth the curse shall go in thy bowels, and make thy belly swell and thy thighs to rot, and the woman shall say, Amen, amen.
So was she charged? Okay, so she's not charged with adultery.
Right, Mary's not charged with adultery, because if she was charged with adultery, it was not to take her and stone her. It was to take her to the priest and make her drink this water.
Okay, so when I read Deuteronomy 24, why it just say simply write your wife a bill of divorce? Why didn't go through all that?
Well, the scriptures say that Moses, because of the hardness of the hearts of the Israelites, suffered them to divorce, but from the beginning it was not so.
All right, okay. So let's move on. Is there anything else there that you want to bring up?
Yeah, verse 21 in Matthew 1.
Wait, so let me go back because I was just following your numbers. So let me just go back. Matthew's 1. Okay, shit, the hell's going on here? All right, Matthew's 1, and I hate this Mac, man. Using a Mac without a mouse is terrible. Terrible idea.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible, man. I hate that. All right, 21.
Right, 21, it says, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins. Now all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Behold, a virgin shall be with child and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is God with us, which we read in Isaiah chapter 7 earlier, right?
Yeah.
And then we read in Isaiah chapter 8 how in the primary context of a virgin being with child is dealing with Isaiah's wife who he had sex with. So it's only logical for us to apply that same logic in this instance of the secondary fulfillment of the prophecy.
Okay. So how you pronounce your name?
My name is Thair.
Thair. I don't want to say anything now. I heard what you said, not dismissing it, but I just feel like if I say anything else, we're gonna be here 4 a.m.
All right, so all praises, right? So what we'll do is we'll postpone it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So this is part
all
one.
praise-
This is part one. I thank you, and
all praise, because you know what? I will say it's been very pleasant, right? I
yeah,
hope that you don't
definitely.
I hope that you don't mistake
No,
my
sir.
passion.
No, sir.
I don't
You
think
put me
that
on the
happens,
quest
man.
right now. You put me on the quest right now. That's all.
All praises,
did.
and absolutely no, it was definitely
Yeah, yeah. I felt like you know a lot. I felt like if I say anything else, I think that at least here, Trinity, you got me. But I think here that I think we can like really bring this to 6 a.m. And it's not fair to you because I don't work on Fridays, right? So going to bed at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. is nothing to me. You know what I mean? So
right. I got a double tomorrow.
Right. So I want to be respectful. Like you invited me on here at 8:30. I came like maybe a couple minutes late, but I want to be respectful. I don't have an ego. I don't have pride. I don't got to be right. Right. I feel like we could definitely do a part two. So I won't call it a reschedule or postpone. I would say this is all beneficial, and a part two is needed. I just felt like I think we did enough tonight.
Absolutely, and we didn't even get to the law yet.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say, bro. We're gonna be at 6, 8, 9, 10 a.m. and it's not that serious. Like my ego's not that big.
Right. No, but in any case, though, this does need to be done, right? Because first and foremost, people need to see that we can have these interactions, we can have dialogues, but we can still,
Brother,
and
you are different
we
than
can
most
even
people,
get passionate, but we're gonna keep it respectful. We're gonna keep it cordial,
bro.
And we're just trying to reach a mutual understanding.
Yeah. I wish, man. Yeah. We got to meet up one day.
Absolutely. Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
You from New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go out to New York. Like I would say, like every couple months to meet up with our sect out there. Now I will say, right, I'll take your contact info.
Yeah, we gotta keep in touch.
Yeah, send me like your phone number or something, or
I'll do
your email, and yeah, we'll definitely do this.
Yeah,
again.
we'll meet up because I gotta be honest, man. You treated me fair, like you said you would.
All praises to the Most High.
Yeah, so you kept your word on that one. And I think we did enough, right? And
yeah, this was good. This was definitely good for the night. So you know what? Let me end the recording. Right, all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Right there, the recording's over.
Yeah. Hey,
you got it for me. What's your name, bro?
I can't even hear you. What's going on? Stop it.
Thank the Lord, my baby. Please.
Yeah, well, he's been ready to go. He's been ready to go. That's why I said let me get off the damn computer.
Do it, all right, King?
Yeah. So I will reply to your email.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. Thank you for the opportunity. Peace.
All right, shalom.
Where's the damn thing at? Screen guard. Where's the screen guard? It's right there. I got it. Got it. Okay. Got it. Got the screen yard. I got the screen yard. I got the screen. Okay, cool. Make sure that this is over. Oh, yes, so all right. uh, your power four is crazy. Yeah. Hey, yo, man, listen. I'm telling you, if y'all knew what just happened, he went to the Strongs first. I was passive, right? He went to the Strongs. He went all the other places. Okay, just do a recap. I was passive. He's going to the Strong. He's even using different translated Bibles. No problem. I know it's my turn. I go into the Strongs myself, and all of a sudden we need the oldest Greek text ever. Okay? When he's in the Strongs is good enough. Matter of fact, the the New Living Translation is good enough. Right? That's good enough to prove his point. I go to the Strongs. Now all of a sudden the Strongs ain't good enough. We gotta go to the oldest Greek text. We go there and it doesn't change anything. The first thing he said, now, when we go to now, mind you, we're in the English. We're not like reading Greek. We're not reading ancient Greek. We're reading English. Still, we're still reading English. So we went to the oldest text, but we're reading English. We're not actually reading the oldest text. So what would have been impressive had he read the oldest text and broke it down. But we're reading the English translation of the oldest text. So that it actually worked out for me because it debunked that they were married. Because he said Joseph, her husband, that means they're having sex. Well, the translation of the oldest text said they're betrothed. So I definitely highlighted that. Okay. And then the word begot there. So he's confused on the word begot. I tried to explain to him, but he wasn't really, like he said, he's getting frustrated because that's what happens when you go to deep waters. So I wanted to point out when they think they know what they're talking about, they're very comfortable. They're very comfortable. And I was being passive on purpose. But you see, I got aggressive. So once it comes to Matthew, I get aggressive. So the whole Faris, Zara thing, he was lost. Like most of them are lost. So when they're lost, it's it's irrelevant. They don't care. I'm like, yo, why isn't Judas kids here? His firstborn is is Onan and Shelah. I said, why the kids here from his dad dating his, Judas, the kids that's in Matthew from Judas is not from his wife. That's from his brother's wife. So Judas did something crazy. The law is not the dad should screw the wife. The law is that the brother is supposed to give seed to the wife. So he missed big what I was trying to say. I don't know if he missed it on purpose or when people come across something they don't understand, they be dismissive. So he kept saying, but biologically, brother, we've been dealing with the law all evening. Now he won't go to biologically, brother. The law is if you are married to a woman, you die. Your second oldest brother, your youngest to you, your next youngest brother, he has to go into that woman and give her a child. And that child is not dedicated to the guy who just screwed her. Biologically, that means nothing. So I think he missed that. He keeps saying physical seed. I'm saying, physical seed means nothing in the Bible. You're overemphasizing that because that's what you wanted. That's your narrative. But according to the story of the Bible, the physical seed means nothing. And that's why it calls Jesus the son of David in prophecy. It does not call him the son of Solomon, the son of Joseph in prophecy. He can only read people. So I got him with that one. He can only read people calling him the son of Joseph. Duh. That's common sense. They didn't know about the angel coming to both of them, explaining what just happened. So everybody is supposed to think it's Joseph. That's who she's married to. and she's pregnant. You guys would think that if I got a girlfriend, right? No, no. If I got a fiance, and I'm saying I'm going to marry her, right? And she's pregnant, right? I'm telling y'all on the live, she's pregnant. She's 8 months pregnant. So this is January. Okay, so now this is January. This is January. He's tired. This is January. If I'm telling you, so this is I said she's pregnant. This is January. Or I didn't gotta say that. No, yeah, I gotta say it. She's pregnant. It's January. An angel, but before I told you she's pregnant, September. All right. So now October, I got a kid. Okay, October, I got a kid. You guys are going to believe it's mine because it's still from my fiance. We're still living together, and I'm raising a damn kid. Why would you not believe it's mine? So that is the narrative of that time. That's the first thing I checked because they always run to Joseph, and then I pointed out, bro, that's not even prophecy. The prophecy says that he should be called the Son of God, not the Son of David, not the Son of Joseph, not the King of the Jews, none of those titles. Whoever called him anything other than the Son of God. Okay. And you know what? Maybe I would do a whole. Maybe I got to now. So Tone G might be right. Maybe I just got to give y'all all my shit, but it won't be public. I'll do it unlisted. So you guys gotta let me put this link in the chat because it'd be better if you know where I'm coming from totally, right? Because I purposely withhold information because I don't want them to have my whole argument. Like why would you? Okay. I got a Facebook group. It's called Unbiased Research. I'm going to put the link in the chat to join. So what I'm going to do, probably by next, because I'm going to go live a few times. I'm going to go live a few times just to promote the Facebook group. I want y'all to join the Facebook group. And then from there, I'm going to post the unlisted link on my entire position on the virgin birth. So now when they say certain things, you already know where I'm going to go. I'm not freestyling. Okay. So that's the only way to know where I'm going to go. Otherwise, you don't know where I'm going to go. You don't know what I'm going to say. And you might think his argument is good. So he mentioned Christ sending away a Canaanite woman who's not his wife. I said, my boy, can you show me a married couple? Because remember, he said that Mary and Joseph is married. So I said, my boy, can you show me? I mean, of course, it's easy to send away a woman that no connection to. Yeah, that's common sense. But can you show me a husband and wife of Israel? And he just sending his wife away for no reason. Like, goodbye. And he said he couldn't do that. So that was that's disingenuous. Like, send away in that case, just saying, get her away from us. I mean, come on, Christ sent away a whole bunch of people. Like, they send away Philistine women, Canaanite women. Yeah, it happened. But the context was a marriage relationship, a marital relationship. My boy, can you show? So the analogy was horrible. Show me it, because I showed y'all where it says put away. I went to just husbands or the law about husbands putting away wives. Okay, so now you could put away your wife publicly and shame her, or you could put her away privately and she don't get the shame, but she got to go. But they all got to get out your house. So he was disingenuous. Like, a man's not going to kick a woman out of his house for no reason. And he can't show me that in the Bible. So that was indigenous black man right there. He came in the spirit of indigenous black man. Okay. Oh, wait. So all right. So now I learned my lesson. All right. So let me end this live. Okay, I'm gonna end this live because I don't want my channel getting shut down or being deleted. That's what happened last time, right? And I couldn't get the video. So I learned my lesson. When I have a debate, I learned how to shut the debate down, so I got my copy. So I'm gonna shut this down right now. If you guys got time, right, come over to the original channel. But I'm gonna shut this one down because I want to keep my